Hey, we're here. I'm here. You're here, and we're all here. So this is B-nign Music Twitch. I've been calling it the in between. I'm still that's kind of a working title. But anyway, I'm here with Rosae.
What's up? Yeah, I'm Rosae.
Yeah, she's a rapper out of Fort Worth. You've been working in the scene for like a long time, right?
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like since I've known you.
Yeah, I've been making music since I was like 17, 18. So like 9, 8 years. Yeah. Wow.
See, that's a long time. Like
That's a long time.
forgot. It reminds me of something I heard in another podcast, but like how like musician years just seem like one decade is like 3 decades.
Yeah.
In musician time.
Yeah, I feel like I've aged a lot.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself I'm like not like 40 years old. I don't know.
Dude, yeah, no, it literally do be like that. Also, B Kent I don't know.
Yeah, Brenna, what's up?
Yeah,
Brenna?
I don't know what to call you. Usually I would say Kent or something.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
But thanks for tuning in. Welcome in. Thanks for the first time chat. Appreciate you being here. Painted also here, always repping. I know Bowser's here too, so yeah, I know you're lurking. But yeah, thanks all for being here. I'm happy to invite Rosae and talk about music and journeys and whatnot. Everything goes into it.
Sure.
Like I kind of like to start early, and this is a question I've yet to ask on this show. But it's something that I think is really important. Is like, what is the main music that you listen to in your household growing up? Like, what your parents listen to?
My parents listened to a lot of classic rock.
So like,
yeah, but my mom listened to more like, oh my god, my mom would listen to like Counting Crows and like a lot of Creed and a lot of Christian rock.
Okay.
So yeah, because I was raised Christian Baptist, so there's a lot of Christian music. Yeah.
Did you go to a lot of church?
Yeah, growing up until my parents like went their own ways. So yeah, I mean, I was pretty. Like, I was raised Christian Baptist, and then I kind of wasn't into it for, like, my early teen years, and then I was really into it, like, from, like, 15 to 17, and then I watched that movie Zeitgeist.
Oh, I've seen that.
And I, literally, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, well, throwing everything out the window now.
They're all just lying to us.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It really do be like an awakening. I like that she goes there. It really do be like awakening. Like, I think that there was like 3 main topics in that movie, right? Like money, religion, and something else, right?
I think it was like money, religion, and war or something like that. It was really crazy.
Yeah, it's a trippy movie.
Yeah, that movie.
That was like what? What's who's this? Oh, Quazon and the Stew. Queso.
Colton.
What's up?
Colton.
Welcome in, man. Please, you know, introduce yourselves. Let me know how to say your names or how to address you. But yeah, thank you for joining. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we're here with Rosae. You know her. We're talking about upbringings and musical upbringings. You know, yeah, we're talking about that movie Zeitgeist.
Yeah, Colton actually lived in that place with me. I was throwing all the shows.
All the shows? Oh,
I don't
want to
jump
really
into
exciting
like,
to
that.
get into. Yeah. I feel like, should we go backwards? I don't know. No. Yeah, no. So, okay. The music. So your mom listened to a lot of Christian bands. Like, did she listen to Christian rock? Like, was there like a Christian station on?
Yeah, it was always like, what is it, 94.9 KLTY? Yeah, that was always on if it wasn't like 106.1, but as soon as she heard them talking about like sex or anything, she'd change it like immediately. So yeah, it was a lot of Christian music. And then there was a station when I was living in Phoenix, Arizona with her, there was this TV station, and this was when I was kind of like in my own Christian phase, and I was watching this station, and they had a bunch of weird Christian movies, like, you know, they play like stuff that's like VeggieTales and these really low budget like Christian like TV shows, and then they would actually have like a music like few hours, and there was literally like Christian like screamo getting played, like super random, obscure, like just off the wall like screamo, and I was like, this is not real. I wish I could remember, but that was when I was like 14, so it was so long ago, but That was crazy.
Did you like get into that? Like, were you like?
I thought it was cool. I mean, my parents were listening to that. I was listening to I took that in, but then also I got a lot of my influences. My sister and brother are both older than me, and they're like 3 years apart. So my sister was listening to a lot of like punk music. I was also listening to like Blink-182 and like Avril Lavigne and like all that stuff. And then my brother was into like rap, and he was also into like a lot of Latin American music, so it was like a lot of different stuff. And then me, I just remember that my mom bought me and my brother a CD at a garage sale one day, and it was a white disc with an E on it. So it was an Eminem CD.
Oh.
And we didn't know what it was, but we bought it, and it was the album where he has Cleaning Out My Closet on it and stuff. Yeah. And me and my brother were like not even 10 yet, listening to like Cleaning Out My Closet with my mom in the car. It was insane, like looking back on it. Yeah. But yeah, I was really heavily influenced by that album. Like, really.
Was she turning it off though?
She liked it.
What?
She's like singing, "I'm sorry, Mama." Like, it was really crazy. I mean, she probably had as many phases as I did, when I was growing up. But yeah, she really liked Christian music. She's really spiritual and religious. But yeah, I liked a lot of like, I was cool with that. And then I liked classic rock too, because my dad is like the older, he's like 67 now, so he's pretty old school. And then I also, I liked like the punk stuff and the rap, and it's just kind of like a mixed bag.
So like, what kind of stuff, like what kind of rap was your brother listening to? Was it underground, or was it like more popular?
More like underground. Like, I hate to say it, but he would listen to stuff that was kind of like SPM and stuff like that. Okay. Like just underground, like definitely not popular in like 2005, like type stuff. Yeah. But now everyone knows who that is. But it was just like a lot of underground, like Spanish rappers, and then of course Drake was popular. And then I just remember getting a phone from him and having all his old ringtones.
Oh, yeah.
And like there was this one Drake song, and it was like it was Still Fly, and it was like, "I'm still fly, I'm sky high." And I loved that song on the ringtone. I would play it like over and over. And then I also got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song ringtone on that phone.
So it was
awesome.
Especially that generation where you could like put ringtones, like to make any song you want a ringtone.
Yeah, that was like, those were the days you're like going into your like Google app to like, not like even an app because it was like flip phones, but you're like on a website that you typed with T9 looking to try to download like different songs. It was such another world. Like,
dude, there were like little sites, or like, I remember what they were called. I felt like I used to know the names. I feel like Pain might shout one out if she probably, Eminem is a classic. It is. Hope you're having a good day too. 1,000-Foot Crutch. I don't know what that reference is. I feel like we've gone way too fast. Way too past that. Red. Under Oath. Are we talking about Under Oath?
Under Oath is so dope.
I actually saw them live on
not
on purpose. Like,
oh my god.
I was kind of an asshole about it, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm pretty sure that's who it was. Yeah, we went to go see a rapper who somehow was like semi, I forget what they're called, but like semi headliner, like before them.
Yeah, opener.
We went to see them.
Well, not opener.
Yeah, there was an opener, but they were like middle, but he had a full set.
So like an
hour set.
I guess.
Something like that.
Sure.
It was like co-headline.
Yeah,
it was a full set. Saw him, and they were like, "Hey, we don't know this band," so we just went to the merch booth and talked to the DJ and POS. That's the poster. That's his poster. Right
oh, POS.
And they were like, "Yeah, this band's great." We're like, we don't know who they are. We're here to see you guys.
That's
and they're
so
like,
funny.
yeah, it's so weird, right?
Oh my gosh.
You never know. And like what my brother talked about was he went to go see Blink-182 in 2003, and the opening band was Taking Back Sunday.
Okay.
And like he didn't know who they were. He saw them live. He's like, "This is pretty cool, swinging mics and stuff." And then like within the next 3 or 4 years, that was like his favorite band of all time. So you
that's
literally
awesome.
never know who you're gonna see.
Well, yeah.
Keep peeping every show.
The first time I ever saw Chevelle, it was live, and I didn't know who they were. I went to some like rock festival with my family. I was probably like 13, 14. And there's just this beautiful guy singing this music, and he's such a great voice, and I like just started smoking weed around like 13, so I like smoked a joint and I'm like mesmerized. Like he was so good, and it was cool. Actually, I got to see like Evanescence play there too, and a bunch of really good bands. But
a festival?
It was. I can't remember what it's called, but it's some kind of festival. Like the radio stations, you know, they throw like a festival every year. It's like something like that. And then my sister and my dad and my old stepmother took me, and it was awesome. Because I figured out Chevelle there. So
you smoked at the show?
Yes.
Who did you smoke with? Like
my sister.
Okay.
Well, cause my dad didn't like me smoking, but the woman he was with smoked with me all the time, and he kind of just turned a blind eye to it and just let it happen. And you know what? Me and my sister like rolled like 7 joints to take to this show, and we gave them to her just to hold them. And she only gave us one of them.
What?
And it was our weed.
Oh,
so yeah.
Dastardly. Edgefest. Yeah. It had to be it.
It was probably.
I was literally thinking 102.1 The Edge. Like.
Yeah. Probably that. It was a lot of really cool bands.
Yeah, I remember those. Like they had Evanescence, Seether, and all those bands. Insane.
Yeah, I was messed up. I was like, dude, what a mother figure, you know what I mean? Whatever though, it was cool. I mean, like a kid shouldn't be smoking all that weed anyway. I guess she helped me, did me a favor. It was cool though. I was happy. I was happy with how it went.
That's crazy. That also reminds me of the one time we went to only time we went to Warped Tour. Our friend Heather was there the night before. The night at our house, had a paper plate, and we were all. There was like a bunch of ground up weed on the paper plate. We all rolled joints while smoking a joint. We all just rolled joints as much as we could. And at the show, Heather had a backpack, and she was selling the joints to just random people. Like, hey, do you want to buy a joint? And then she made so much money, and we got so fucking stoned.
That's awesome.
It was pretty crazy.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. Everyone put in the work.
Yeah. It was fucking dope. I was like, dude, you got a side hustle going on over here at the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was the only Warped Tour we've ever been to.
I went to one Warped Tour. I went to what was supposed to be I think it was like the second to last one. Because my sister was really into this band. I mean, I like the band too, Ice Nine Kills. So they're like the only band that I've met in person. Like, you know how a lot of people like meet celebrities and stuff. I have not met like any celebrities, like, but I did meet Ice Nine Kills like 2 different times. Cool. Like once when I was 17, and then once at that Warped Tour. And I can't remember. I don't know. I only remember just trying to see them live and nobody else, because my sister was so into them. And I was like her younger sister, so I'm just piggybacking on whatever she likes. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, let's see Ice Nine Kills. And it was great. They put on a good show. They're really good performers. And they kind of blew up like a few years later. But yeah, we saw them pretty early on in their career, but they were still they were playing Warped Tour, so they were doing fine.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly.
But it was cool.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard it like, I don't know why, I feel like Painted showed me Ice Nine Kills. I don't.
They do
it's
good
so, like,
songs, yeah.
It's so like relevant in my brain. Do they have like a crazy famous song that I should know?
Greatest Story Ever Told. And then I don't know, they have a couple good like acoustic songs, and then they have the song like The Simple Act of Giving Up.
Ice Nine Kills. I feel like Vash or Limbo told me, and this is gonna be shit's gonna be on my. Is it with a 9?
Nah, Ice Nine Kills. Yeah.
Do I have anything like? That's the question. No.
Probably not. They're pretty good. I mean, it's just some like hardcore dudes.
It's gotta be Limbo. This is totally some Limbo shit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, anyway. They did do a bunch of covers. They did like a horror album too.
Were they like on a Pop Goes Punk or something?
Probably. Most definitely. That definitely seems like their style.
Hell yeah.
For sure. I can see that, definitely.
Hell yeah. So, okay, so like, well, let's ask that then. What's the best show you've ever been to?
Man. Okay. So, you know who is really good live? So, my first concert ever was Gwen Stefani which was awesome. She put on a great performance. I just remember that
this is like Banana Period. What's that song called?
Banana. Oh.
BANANAS.
Yeah, it was like when she did that song with Akon, where all he did was say "woohoo yee-hoo," like the Sweet Escape song, and that song was really like popular. I was like 13. My mom was like dating her producer, so he got us like really good tickets. I was in like the 13th row or something, and yeah,
was that here like?
It was in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, Phoenix, okay.
It was just cool because I just remember, like, they had, like, a golden gel cell, and it was, like, lifting up, and then went down, and she got locked in it, she was singing in it. It was just really good performance-wise. But for honestly, like, the best recent show I've seen, and it wasn't even that recent, oh my gosh, I saw Prof live. He's a monster. He's so crazy live. I saw him live in San Diego when I was living there. He's amazing. And he's got crazy stamina. And then also Kasky is really good live. Okay. Kasky is really good.
I don't know who Kasky is.
He has like a social media presence. Like he runs like a Facebook page that'll post like viral shit all the time. And then so people interact with him a lot there. That's honestly how I knew who he was, because it's like you see like a rapper or artist like in your feed, but you never listen to their music, but you see him all the time. And so I had seen him for like years, probably just in the algorithm. And then I went to a show, and my friend was like, "Hey, this person, my friend is playing this show," and then I saw the headliner, and I was like, dude, this guy is dope. Who is this? They're like, oh, it's Kasky. And I was like, oh, I know who that is. Like, he's great. Like, that's awesome.
That's
dope. Yeah, he did really good, but I think Prof is probably the best.
So what about, like, what about those two, like, what is, like, so great, like, besides, like, the stamina?
Okay, so Prof had this whole, like, shtick to his, like, tour. It was, like, a pregame tour. So, like, he had, like, he was dressed like he was a basketball player, and then he had, like, these, it was so crazy, because he had this scoreboard, and so he had this scoreboard on the back of his thing, and, on his stage, and he would, like, make us, like, cheer, and he'd be like, come on, like, you know, cheer louder, and then if we cheered loud enough, we would get a point on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember like the whole deal, but basically at the end we all cheered really loud, and then another point, and it matched, so he had to go into overtime, and he had to sing more songs.
And that was like the encore?
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. He had a whole shtick going on, and it was just really fun, and it was interactive. Like, he would throw, like, they had these big bouncy, like, basketballs, and you would shoot it into these hoops that he had on either side of his stage. Yeah, so it was cool because it was so much interaction with the crowd, and he's just like a master performer. He's really funny, and yeah, he was great.
So like he's a good talker, like between songs.
He's a good talker, yeah, and then his openers were really good too. Like, yeah, they just did these things that I totally wanted to like bite off of. I never did, but it was just like, they just had really good energy. And then, yeah, Prof, he was talking in between sets, and all of his fans like know like all of his music. It was crazy.
Like, everybody's just like
everyone knew like all the songs. Yeah, because he's not like mainstream, but of course he's big in rap. And it's just crazy because people like that are kind of like not in the mainstream, like their fans are actually really like super dedicated. Like they listen to everything that they drop.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy. It's cool though. He's really good. And he was a big influence on me and my little rap group, like 4 or 5 years ago too. Yeah, like he had this song called "No," and it's like it's funny. It's just about not wanting to hang out with people because he's too busy sleeping with a woman, and it's just like, I mean, that's one of his lines. Obviously, he delivers it better.
Yeah.
Like, he's it's just a funny song, and my group was trying to make like funny songs like to gain like viral attention. So they kind of like really looked up to Prof, and I did too because he was great.
That's cool. So did he mainly do like kind of funny stuff, or
he does funny stuff. Okay. But he does some serious songs. I mean, I feel like you have to have like a good balance, you know. But well, you don't have to do anything. You can do whatever you want. Yeah. But yeah, he has a good like balance. He'll drop a couple like songs that'll like touch your heart, and then he'll drop like a bunch of funny songs. Like he has this song where the hook is like, I'm about to let my fucking nuts hang, right on, brother. And then, like, every other line, the ad-lib is right on, brother. So the crowd is like, right on, brother. It's like, it's really funny. It's cool.
That's really dope. Like, that's something, like, I feel like is almost, could be, I don't know, it depends, almost unique to rap shows. Like, those, like, one, like, things, you're waiting for that song to hit. That one line, you can yell that one thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think of a lot of different songs. Like, I really only experienced that during rap shows, like with punk shows and stuff. Like there's like whoas. That's more of like you're singing with them. Like it's not like something you're just yelling some silly shit, you know. It's like an ad lib.
Yeah, it's interesting, definitely, because I don't know. Either way, there's like if you have as many like. You have a lot of people that really follow your music, like there will be one line where you don't have to say anything, and the whole crowd will say it for you, and that stuff is really awesome.
Right, like Sensei was talking about, and
Oh yeah, I love Sensei. I sing like all the lyrics I can, and I'm like screaming his songs at him, and I'm like 3 feet away from him. I'm like, I hope this is okay. I'm not gonna stop though. Like,
that's so funny.
It is so. It's awesome. He's a great performer.
You must be the person that was like trying to tell him, yo. Or like it was from a reel, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
This is like a continuation. He's like talking about like when he performs and people come up to him like, yo, dude, this is an amazing song. And he's like, oh, my set's not done yet.
Oh yeah. That's funny. He's awesome.
Funny. You must have been that person. Nah, he's fantastic. I think I DJ'd for him, but I think for him like right after I did too, but I can't remember. But as Zoe's album release show, that's the first time I ever met him, first time I ever saw him. I was like, oh, this is crazy. He's like decked out in the van shit. And
he's got his style.
Yeah, the checkers. I love checkered shit. You'll see it's behind my stream and everything. I go pink and black, but I love the white.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Sensei has a good style. Mm-hmm. He has good social media presence. He's cool.
Yeah, feels it.
He's great too.
Yeah, good at Rocket League too. You can see that on a couple streams ago.
Rocket League.
Yeah, we fucked
he
up
do be playing video games.
Yes,
he do.
That's true, man.
I know. Every time I like have gone over there, he's like playing Smash or something. Yeah,
that's something I gotta do too. Play some Smash Brothers. I didn't even know he was playing Smash Brothers.
You should bring all of us, and we could all like have a Smash battle.
Dude, I'm down, dude. Cause I got the Switch. I got the capture card. Like I've played. I've gamed on Switch. Like streamed it a couple times. You played like Mario Party. What else did you play? Oh yeah, because there's the SNES, NES emulator too, so you can like play like old. That was a lot of letters.
I know, I had to process that. I was like, shit.
SNES as well as the NES emulator.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna slow it down. But yeah, you can play all the SNES games and the NES games. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Mario's and the
Colton says stream a tournament.
Stream a tournament. Let's go, man. We'll put brackets up. We'll. Gen SNES. I didn't have a Gen SNES. I don't have a Gen SNES. I just have an SNES and an S.
All right. That's awesome.
We're just vibing on that that old school 90s video game retro console stuff. Anyways, yeah, let's get back to the music.
I had a GameCube.
Had a GameCube?
Yeah. That's
literally the only Nintendo I've never owned.
Really?
Is that the only one you have owned?
I mean, I had a GameCube.
Okay.
I have no idea what else I played. Probably like the PlayStation 2, like early Xbox.
That's the only PlayStation I've never owned is the PlayStation 2.
I miss really. That's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
I know, right? It's the most high selling game console of all time.
yeah. That was when Grand Theft Auto was a big deal. And then I mean, it still is, I guess. But there was like the first Xbox I remember getting, because my brother had to have everything, and me, I'm the youngest, so I'm riding off what my sister does and what my brother gets. So I'm like playing like a SpongeBob like Krabby Patty game on his Xbox. But those I miss when we used to have like the first Xbox, and I don't know if the second one did it, but everyone would download, like, you could burn CDs onto it.
Yes.
That shit was awesome.
I was literally about to be like, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Not only that, like, you playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you can go to custom music.
You can upload your own songs and it'll play your playlist, like, instead of the game's playlist. It's so cool. And then you could, like, put it on that screen where it just has those cool visuals, and you could just play music like that when you have your friends over and just let all the cool visuals rock. Yep. It's so awesome.
Dude, I'm telling you, we had so much, like, so many, like, 13-year-old boy dance parties when I was like younger, to the Xbox home screen. I swear to God, just like you press Y and it just like it dances to the music. Like we were vibing on some like
press Y,
Fallout Boy and Yellow Card and Simple Plan and Bowling for Soup.
And you could go to anyone else's house, and if they had an Xbox, they had their music on there.
Oh, most definitely.
So you could go to like anyone's house and just look at all their music. Like that's awesome.
And we had like all of our burnt CDs on there, and then you can make playlists out of all the songs you have on there. So we like made a playlist of like our favorite rap songs, our favorite hip hop song, or our favorite like indie and all that.
That's awesome.
And it was like OG, like we were doing this before Spotify existed. You know what I'm saying? It's that original Xbox. But like literally, I was gonna say that's the best feature of the original Xbox.
Yes.
It's like you can play your own music. Like soundtracks to video games kind of became pointless after that because I would just mute them.
Yeah.
Like Maddens and.
I feel like at least half the people. As well.
If you had Xbox. PlayStation 2, we're sorry. I know you bought into the one that was selling more and making more.
Oh, man.
But, original Xbox, it had its charm. And Fusion Frenzy, that was like my shit too.
Fusion Frenzy.
But I had a slew of music. No, we literally still have that. I think my brother's got it right now, but that Xbox, like, we modded it at one point, or gave it to our friend to mod, and it would not read any discs anymore. It's like now just a big ass brick, but it still had all this music on it. So we're like, it's not useless.
That's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah. It was like a compact CD disc. I don't know.
It's a compact everything. It's Spotify before Spotify.
It was. Yeah. Those were the days.
Oh yeah. So like whenever you were getting into, let's say when you were getting out of like the Christian music and stuff like that, Christianity, like what did you immediately go into? Like when did you like dive into hip hop, I guess, really?
Oh yeah, so Christian was fine. I mean, I was into hip hop the majority of my life though, and oh my god, there was like this Christian rap phase. Like,
oh yeah, so Casting Crowns?
Casting Crowns is good. To this day is a good band.
No, I swear to God, we were driving the other day, and Payton's like, "Is there some?" Thank you. Hydrate. She saw I was like reaching for it. But we were driving the other day, and she's like, "Is there like Christian like hip hop or Christian like rap music?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Casting Crowns." I was like, I remember the first time I heard
Casting Crowns, do they rap?
I thought they were a rap group.
I think they're a rock group.
Are they? Oh.
But there's Lecrae and KJ52. And they're rappers.
Oh, okay.
And there's Tadashi. Ridiculous.
Oh, and then there's the dude that sued Katy Perry and lost. I don't remember his name.
Me about that.
Dude, oh my god, it's like...
That's awesome.
Damn, I really thought you would know for some reason. Damn,
I have no idea.
Flame? I feel like his name is just Flame or something.
Maybe
like that.
Flame is a...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he sued for the ostinato that happens in Dark Horse or something.
Yes, I remember this, because I was into all that stuff. I remember, I was like... And it was true. But, I mean, it's like a 4-second...
No, it's like...
Can't even... It was it even...
It wasn't like it's an ostinato, which is like a supporting. It's not the main melody, but it's something that supports the main melody. Like
that's so funny.
Yeah, you're.
I never thought I'd be talking about this.
No, like literally, like. It's
crazy.
What do you mean, like
talking about this specific like Flame suing Katy Perry? Yeah. Like, I never thought that information would be useful to me, like, to know about that, and here I am.
Well, it was important because, I mean, it's like...
It was a big deal in music, period.
It was a stepping stone to, like, where Marvin Gaye and the whole Sharon thing happened, and it was, like, scary times, like, where it's, like, nothing can, like, everybody's trying to own everything. You know what I'm saying?
So, how come, gosh, I forget his name. You know the guy that does the thong song?
Nelly or something? Nelly or LL Cool J?
No.
One of them. I thought one of them did it.
No, it was anyways, he lost all the money for that song almost because he just said "Livin' La Vida Loca" in the style of that one guy without getting the like written approval of it. He asked somebody and they were like, "Oh yeah, I know him. It'll be fine." And so he made this song, but he never got actual like verified proof, and so he got sued for like all the rights to that song. So how can that happen?
That's what I'm saying.
But other shit like is fine.
See,
like,
that's
crazy.
Where the gray area is because you have like catchphrases, right? Like Doe from Homer Simpson's like a catchphrase or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you can copyright phrases, and so lyrics like will kind of count as that. And so when a jury looks at that, they're like, okay, well these words occur in this order on this song with this rhythm and this melody. That's definitely stealing, right? But
yeah, I guess because it wasn't like it was he saying it how the guy sang it for that one bar.
Exactly. And so, even though he thought it was going to be okay and he got like the verbal
from a third party
permission, like,
so
it's you know, you're still going to take the risk and everything, and same thing with sampling and everything, but like it's gotten to the point now where people are trying to sue just for basic chord progressions that are in tons of songs. Like,
how are you going to make anything?
Yeah, like you heard the Axis of Awesome thing, right?
No, it sounds I don't know.
They like they popularized like the 4 chords where like they play 4 chords and they play like all these songs that like,
off 4 chords.
Yeah, they like transition into the songs without changing the music at all. Like they'll sing like oh my god, like Journey, what's it called? You know, Don't Stop Believin', and they'll go right into that U2 song. I can't think of names, but Sleight of Hand and Twist of Fate, a little bit.
I don't know. It's probably like With or Without You.
Yeah, With or Without You. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, they all have the same chord progression, and they made it famous. But like now, it's to the point where like actual artists are like trying to sue shit. And Marvin Gaye, the state, lost finally against Ed Sheeran. That battle had been going on for years, like ridiculous. And Ed Sheeran said if he lost, he would have quit making music because there'd be no point. Everybody's gonna own everything. It's just gonna be a grab. Yeah.
What did he do?
Like, okay, so he wrote a song that's like kind of feels like What's Going On from Marvin Gaye. Yeah. But that song feels like every bebop song that existed in the Motown era. So it's like, unless you're trying to own all the Motown songs and say that you wrote them 20 years after they existed, come on, man.
Yeah, a lot of music is all influenced like by either like you or other music. Like you hear something and you put it out in your own way. Like basically, that's how music gets made. Like in a way,
good artists borrow, great artists steal. You never heard that before?
I feel like I have, but not recently.
Yeah, no, it's like it's straight bars, but it's true. Like everybody's inspired and influenced by something.
I did this. Actually I've done that. It was me and Colton. He produced my first album, Slopes. And when we were writing this, I was like, I want it to sound like Travis Scotty. I want it like overproduced. I want to match it was basically just an experiment. I was writing songs to sound good, but to not have any substance. Mm-hmm. So it was like all about like the flow of the verse and like it being this many bars and this many syllables, and like there was a couple like songs on there that did have meaning behind them, maybe like 2 or 3, but all the other ones were just like, I remember there's a song called Bad Bitch, which I think didn't get released, but I dropped it on my SoundCloud as like a unmastered, like, I just dropped a tape with all the music I was never going to finish because I was like, just get rid of it. So it's on there, and that chorus is basically the same chorus as No Stylist by Drake and that one guy. Yeah, so
I don't know much Drake past like 2010. Like,
it's not like the same, but it like that verse, like it influenced me. Like I like kind of like spit it out in my own way. I mean, it's not the same words or the same like exact way at all, but it's just kind of like how simple it was and how it like meant nothing. Like, and that's like how kind of like what I spit out. I just remember like listening to that song over and over again while I was writing that song. And then also, yeah, like just taking influence like from Travis Scott, like beat switch ups. Like I wanted one of my songs to have a beat switch up because Travis Scott does that all the time.
Yeah,
he does it amazing. So I was like trying to like imitate that.
Hell yeah.
I guess, I don't know. But it was cool. It's interesting. Music is interesting. It's definitely, I take a lot of inspiration off what other people have done.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, when I was writing the song called One for the One, on my second record, I listened to Baduism from Erykah Badu, like, every day for, like, a week. Because I wanted to get the vibe, the chord progressions, the voice leading, like, everything they do, the bass lines, like, the way she sings, and, like, the dynamics and everything. Like, I wanted to just absorb it because I wanted to write a song like in that style. You know what I'm saying? I was ChatGPTing myself.
It works though. Yeah. Have you told ChatGPT to write a song for you?
No.
It's so well. I haven't done it and made a song off ChatGPT. I just want to clarify. But just for funsies, me and my friends were like, we were actually showing Spencer like what ChatGPT was. And we were like, I was like, he had just got back from Australia, and so me and my friend Harrison were like telling Spencer about it, and he was like, well, that's crazy, because it is crazy. And we were telling like ChatGPT, I like did something, I was like, ChatGPT, write my boyfriend a sweet message telling him I miss him and I hope he's having a good time. And then it did, and I showed it to Spencer, and Spencer was like, what? And then we me and Harrison were like, Harrison was like, yeah, I use it to like kind of like help me do some stuff like music wise. I mean, he's never actually like recorded and put out a song, so it's not like he like does that, you know, or anything, but he was just like talking about it, and I was like, oh, I've never thought of that. And so I put in like a prompt. I was like, ChatGPT, write about how Spencer just got back from Australia and his vacation there. And then it wrote like 16 bars about Spencer and his trip, and I was like rapping it to Spencer over a beat, like a free to use beat. And Spencer was like, what the hell is going on?
Oh my
it was
God.
So crazy.
That's
because
freaky.
Yeah, it'll work.
And it flowed
and it'll flow. It's insane. It's like it's insane. It's really crazy.
That's scary.
Yeah, we're in a really weird like period right now. Like no one's about to own anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's not...
like a gray area. It's another story I heard about,
my gosh.
Like, there's like an
dude.
future for real, some Squidward shit, most definitely.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And then I gave it like other prompts too. I was like, write a song about this. Write a song about sipping 40s with the homies, and it wrote a whole like catchy hook, and it was catchy, and we were like no,
we can't use it. It doesn't count.
It didn't count, but it was just like the experiment of just like messing with it and seeing what it spits back at you. Because I have like the log to send. Harrison gave me the log to send to jailbreak it, so it'll like cuss and stuff. And so it was crazy.
That's dope.
Crazy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to get a cussing ChatGPT. Sounds like right on.
So insane.
I have like considered actually using it for one specific purpose, because I've had this concept I want to do for a long time. They have Cosmos, right? You know Cosmos, the show. Cosmos, the book. Space and physics and all that shit. I'm a space nerd, a science nerd. Okay, cool. So I love this shit. I read the book, and then for the book, every chapter has its own episode in the series, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson redid it. So it's the same 13 episodes, 13 chapters. Every chapter's got like a really cool title, and so I wanted to make since it's a TV show and a book, I wanted to make an album that's like Cosmos, the unofficial album. And I was considering using ChatGPT to write the lyrics, because I could be like, yo, just take chapter 1 of Cosmos and condense it into 24-bar rap verse or whatever.
There's nothing like insincere about it, as long as you're like straightforward with it. It's not like you're trying to have like your career written for
yeah,
you. Like,
yeah.
But there's a lot of purists, like, you're gonna get judgment for that, but, I mean, you'd probably get it for anything else you do. Like, it's just whatever, you know? I think it would be a cool experiment.
Yeah.
Like, I would listen to it just to see what they said. Like, that's cool. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I'm not totally against, like, any type of advancing technology. Most of my life... Sensei's here. What's up, homie? Yo.
Sensei!
I already mentioned how good of a Rocket League player you are. She was shocked. I don't know why you're hiding your skills like this.
Whoa. Whoa.
You spoken with some Diablo 4 now?
Diablo 4, how is it? I played Diablo 3 and the Reaper of Souls. I love that game.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, ChatGPT.
That's a cool idea.
I had one more thought about it. I had already just forgotten. Yeah, I'm not totally against it though. It's like a tool. I was like really resistant against most technology. Like I hated social media for a long time.
Yeah.
Like resistant on getting on it, and even like Twitch. Like I'll have like days where I'm like, God damn, this thing won't work or whatever. But yeah, like I'm not against like tools anymore. So like using ChatGPT still requires like a human input to like guide it.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's conceptualizing for you. Like the concept still comes from me. I heard a story about an artist. I feel like I already told this on this podcast thing before, but I heard a story about like an artist. He's like a modern artist, or like one of those like, you know, high class, has like a loft and paints and shit, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, but he was like fucking with ChatGPT, and I feel like it's one of Rick Rubin's friends. I feel like that's where I heard this, like one of his stories or something like that. But he had like ChatGPT, and he was like putting commands in and getting these art, right? Like the visual art, right?
Yeah, I haven't tried with that yet, but
no, it's something I'm not fucked with at all either. But yeah, he would put it in, then he's like, no, not quite right, and then he'd like change keywords, and he'd keep adding things, and have like a list of a huge thing, like a huge ass list of keywords and stuff, and then he like write down, subtract things, and like he figured out exactly how to input to get this final product that he got, which was like a black and white photo of a little girl in like a downtown New York busy street, and then he was like, I've seen this picture, and if like you look at this picture, you would assume that this girl actually lived, like that she was a real person that existed. That's how scary it is, but like also that's how much like work this guy put into it to like. He said he was working like 6 months of just like changing commands and like writing keywords down and deleting some and rearranging and all this other shit, and I'm like, that's still work. It's still art, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of thought he put into that.
Yeah, so like, where is the art?
And it still wouldn't exist if he didn't make it.
Right.
Like I don't know. I mean, we all say technology is a tool, but now we're putting boundaries on what you can use the tool for.
Yeah,
it's like, what? I don't know.
It's fucking insane.
I mean, I don't think it's a negative thing at all, as long if, like I said, if you're transparent about it, if you credit ChatGPT,
hell yeah,
you should probably, I mean, that'll probably be how it goes. Like ChatGPT will be credited like as a writer in some like famous artist's stuff. You know what I mean? Which wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, it's true that they helped you.
On, like,
yeah, there's already like 4 people writing like 4 bars of a song, and I don't even know why it takes 10 people to make one song. You know what I mean? And
that's not even including ghostwriters, and they still exist. People whose name are nowhere near it, but they had significant input.
Ghostwriting, ghostwriters don't get put on the credit list?
No, that's why they're ghostwriters. There's what are they called? I listened to another podcast called 20,000 Hertz. Shout out Dallas Taylor. But he had both kinds back to back. I forget what they're called. But yeah, there's like ghostwriters, and there's something that sounds like ghostwriters, but it's not.
Yeah, I think some of them do get credited, but I don't know. I know some of them haven't been credited. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember, because they had this one dude on here that was like not allowed. So this is the one, Ghost in the Hit Machine. But basically he's talking about how he literally cannot. This one's hidden hit makers. Okay, that one's just basically about producers. So yeah, these are the guys that do have their name on the beat or whatever, and then have a hand in like lyrics and melodies and stuff like that. But yeah, ghostwriters, there's like this dude specifically that they interview in this episode, like this gets no credit. His name's not in there. He's not even allowed to say who he wrote for. Like, he talks about who he did write for in the past, but he doesn't talk about who he currently does. I know, right?
That's weird. I don't know why anyone would do that.
I don't know why.
Especially if you're broadcasting that you are a ghostwriter. Like, okay.
Yeah,
like, it's like you don't want the credit, but you want people to know you did this thing that's so cool.
Well, they reached out to him for this podcast, so it's like, what's crazy is, like, if you listen to him talk, it's like an immense amount of, like, humility, like, where he doesn't care if he gets credit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like, most people put in a lot of work, they want the credit for it, you know what I'm saying? And, like, ghostwriters just aren't like that, you know? And yeah, it is a weird. I wouldn't do it, you know. It's part of my ego and everything, but
yeah, like, I mean, there's definitely levels to it, because I think you could technically be considered a ghostwriter even if your name's on the split sheet or whatever. But yeah, there definitely are like people like who you're talking about where they don't even want to be on that. Probably because they don't want to have, like, a Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to, like, live a normal life. And
exactly.
if their kid, someone who goes to school with their kid Googles them, they don't be like, oh my god, you're rich, because I found your dad on Google. Like,
yeah. Another thing that dude points out, he's actually a rapper on his own. Like, he does his own show. So you don't want to be Google and be like, oh, this guy ghostwrites for this person. Like, no, he wants to be known as what he is actually out there, putting himself out there doing.
That's a good reason.
So it's really interesting, though. Like, it was talking about Biggie, too. Like, Biggie, like, ghost wrote some of, like, I'm going to name the wrong person, but, like, one of those underground female rappers that was, like, coming up, like, or one of the OGs.
Queen Latifah.
It very well could be. Whoever was there in fucking New York. But they mentioned it in that podcast. Very interesting. But, yeah, and he would, like, do the verse to the song, like, what she should do, but he's, like, talking about, like that dude came up on me, he smacked my ass and shit like that. So he's like saying like it as a female, but he's just putting the words there so she can come record it later.
Which is really fun because I've done that for guy friends of mine, like written like verses for them and like hooks for them to sing. And like I don't care.
Did you record it on there and be like, do it like this, and then they?
Well, I would like coach them in how they need to deliver it, and I'd be like, it needs to be like this, and it's fun. Like that's one of the funnest things. I've always wanted to be like a writer for other people. Like I'm not really too into like I don't really care about like where I'm at. I mean, I guess I care. That's a bad term to use. Yeah. But you know what I mean. Like I enjoy music and writing it, so I really like don't care who's presenting it. I just care about like a good like full finished like project. So I was really into like if I can write, because me as a female artist, I've written some really like raunchy and like, you know, stuff your mom wouldn't want you to listen to, you know, and I feel like when I write as like from a male perspective, like I can get like even worse. And I think it's good because like, you know, not to say I always write like that, but it's a good outlet to be able to write something like really gnarly that if a chick rapped it, it'd be like, what? Like, this is not real. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I've had a lot of fun in the past, like, and especially because I like other people's voices rather than mine. So I'd be like, hey, I need you to do this because you can do this. You know, like, you can, like, scream this song, or you can, you know, deliver it in, like, a male voice, which is what I would like. So that's pretty cool.
So have you gotten to, like, recycle a lot of, like, things that you really wanted to use that just didn't work for you, like with your friends and stuff?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a huge thing. Like I wouldn't say a lot of my friends. I'm just like, especially back when like we were in that music group, like we would definitely help each other out. Like, not everyone, like people wouldn't take from each other, but I've definitely like helped like some of the guys like write their hooks and. Like, just on a few songs, not to say, like, most of them at all, but just, like, it's really fun, and then a lot of stuff that's not even released, like, that project where it's, like, a bunch of random stuff, like, I don't know, there was, like, on mine, I, like, needed, like, Colton's voice to, like, do the backups on my, like, Dirty Dirty South song, and I was like, I need you to do this. It needs to be really hard, but I don't have like the depth in my voice to like do this and make it happen, so I need you to just like go scream this song for me. And so he did, and it's really cool.
Have you considered like do you ever consider like pitching down your voice or like
Yeah.
layering it up or
Yeah, I have. I've definitely done the layering in some of my music, my more like singing stuff, but I'm really honestly moving towards being like in a band now,
Oh,
or
that's
like
cool.
making something that's more like chill rock type thing, not Christian rock.
Yeah.
But like something like I don't know, I want to make music that's like really chill, really easy to listen to, stuff that you would play if you're like taking a shower or just driving in your car, like something really like general and I don't know, easy to listen to is kind of like what I'm gearing towards, but I have this issue where I don't know. I want to do so many things. Like I want to be in like a Paramore band, and I want to keep rapping, and I want to like do crazy like hyperpop stuff, and I want to be in like a band. But like I can't like keep my focus on one thing, so it's hard for me to say, yeah, I'm just gonna do this now, because I know that it's like not true, because like I'm gonna like do a bunch of different stuff one day. So yeah, I'm just kind of like figuring out where I want to be at with like the next stuff I release right now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So do you play any instruments or are you talking about just
I
singing?
don't. I actually don't play any instruments. I'm teaching myself how to do like acoustic guitar. Which would be fun to just write some songs here and there. Honestly, I've always wanted to do like covers. So that would be fun to like just like touch into like being like a cover artist just for fun, like just to like practice and like do things in my own way. And yeah, no, I don't personally play music, but I do know a lot of people that are really talented musically that would probably help me out if I wanted to. I have like all of this stuff. Like I have an electric drum kit. I don't even know.
Oh, that's dope.
Drums, but like I can do like a simple beat. So, and I can like hook it up to my computer to record it. So like when I'm about to move and when I get my space, I'm gonna have like the freedom of the space to like actually like work on recording like music tracks.
Hell yeah.
And then when I can get a music track, I can like, my voice on it and we'll see how it goes. But that's kind of like what I'm trying to get into.
Are you thinking like a Tame Impala kind of thing where you just start playing instruments?
That would be cool.
Just,
that would be cool. Tame Impala is cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then I have my MIDI, I have all my sounds, I can still, like, add some electric stuff in there. Like, I know you make really cool music, you do a lot of, like, different funky stuff. I like that. I would rather be, like, someone like that, like, where I make, like, all my stuff. And
yeah, I forget what they call me, I'm like ADHD when it comes to music.
That's
what
cool.
do they call it? I feel like I've been called a lot of different things, or, like, just, like switching back and forth, like bipolar. I don't know. I feel like there's like a specific word, a vast range.
Like
Yes.
manic?
My next manic. Yeah, my next song is gonna be a cover. Next song that's coming out. It's
that's
cool.
Well.
It's
yeah.
only the second one I've ever released. It's Jawbreaker cover. I'm super excited about that because it's
awesome.
like doesn't sound anything like the original. I sent it to my friend Ricky and he's like, "Oh, it sounds cool. It's like all pop punk, like electronic EDM kind of vibe." And I'm like.
Awesome.
And I'm like, yeah, it's a Jawbreaker cover. He's like, wait, what?
He's like, what?
Yeah, because like it just doesn't sound anything like the original. But yeah. And then I've like my like if you look at my Spotify, it explains it. Is probably the most obvious because like my top 5 songs are like oh look,
Sensei, what's up, bro?
Oh well, they changed. It's mostly my new album, but there's a hip hop song, there's like a more rocky indie electronic song, and then there's like a EDM kind of like hyper pop song. And then there's like this crazy rap song that's in a 5/4 time signature. It was like my most streamed song that came out like 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then God is Out for a Cigarette, which is all like, it's like grunge, post-punk kind of song. But
yeah,
that's
so
my
cool.
second most streamed song. So it's like, I don't even know what my listeners want.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
My 2 most popular songs are like complete opposite genres. It's weird, but yeah, shit happens when we make a lot of fucking music. ADHD gang, let's go. Neurodivergent as fuck, yes. So I have been told.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I actually want to get into talking about your venue and then your musical journey past like getting into music, but we're gonna take a quick break first.
Okay.
All right,
cool.
big bet. We're gonna run an ad. You're gonna see advertisements and some BRBs. But we'll be right back. We're gonna talk to Rosae. Back here with Rosae. We're gonna get into some deep shit. Okay. I'm gonna feel bad about myself for a second. No, I don't know why. I listened to an atheist talk about it, but where should I go with this?
I was like, what is this introduction?
Yeah, this
okay,
introduction.
what were they talking about? What were they talking about?
No, he was talking about how, like, if you were an animal, like, if you were put on a planet as any being, but you just don't know what being you're going to be put as, right? And, like, you get put as a cow, like, are you going to be totally okay with getting chopped up and, like, fed to the dominant species of the planet? Like, no. So, like, as an atheist, I was always like, yeah, we went to the top of the food chain, so like we conquered it, so I can eat whatever I want. But then I hear an atheist peer talk about it, I'm like, damn, that's actually a good point too. But anyway, Rosae, you're a vegan. How long have you been a vegan?
Like I don't know, like maybe like 14, 16 months.
Okay, yeah. So it's like relatively new.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so like what pushed you into it?
Well, Colton just left, but I went and moved in with him in California, and he had been vegan for a few years, and he had me watch this speech. It's, I think, by Greg Kirkowski. It's called The Greatest Speech You'll Ever Hear, or something along those lines.
Like a YouTube video?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's about 30 minutes long, and this guy's basically just talking about what it is to like eat animals and all these things, and I was just kind of like listening and kind of rolling my eyes the whole time, and it gets to the part where he's showing you what they do to the animals, and I watched this cow get its throat slit, and I saw its eyes roll into the back of its head, and I watched it bleed out and die, because that's halal, which is no suffering.
Wait, what? Like,
yeah, that's how they kill. That's how they kill animals when they say they only eat halal. It's like a religion. Oh. They only eat halal, which means animals that die without suffering, but they slit their throats. Yeah. So I think that they suffered.
They suffered a little bit.
Yeah. And then when I saw that, I got pissed off, and I got up and I told Colton, I don't want to see this. I know where my food comes from, and I stormed into my room. And I came out like an hour later, and I threw away all my food that I had just bought, and I was like, I can't do it anymore, because now I know like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, you're not doing it.
I'm paying people to do it for me, so I'm supporting it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah, that's crazy. So like, it was just like one eye-opening experience, and then like cold turkey.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Shut up. That's funny. Yeah. No. Yeah. It was pretty instantaneous. I mean, at first I was upset, and I didn't want to see that, and I knew, like, just like you know, like. Yeah. But when you actually see like what you're paying for, it kind of just it rips apart like the blinder that we've been grown to like live in, you know. It like takes away that, well, I'm not actually doing anything, you know, oh, grass fed or all this bullshit that they feed you. Yeah. When really like cage free hens, when really they're so fat their legs are breaking under them, they can't stand because they're bred to be that large. Like, wow, it's insane. So yeah, when you see that kind of stuff, it's like, morally, personally, I couldn't continue doing what I was doing.
Right. That's why it's so easy for you to...
Yeah, it's not about me. It was never... Veganism is not a health thing. People will say, like, I'm vegan for my health. That's not veganism, because veganism is a lifestyle that you live to cause the least amount of suffering possible. Yeah. So, it's like, we acknowledge that there will be suffering in some of the decisions we make. Like, it's literally unavoidable, but if I can choose to cause the demand where this cow needs to die, I choose not to.
Right.
And farmers are producing so much milk that they're literally pouring it down the drain now.
Wow.
And the need for it is going down, and they're still making it. Like, I don't even know. I just saw this statistic 3 days ago, and it was just so upsetting.
Of course, I fucking love oat milk. That's my shit. Like,
oat milk's good. I love soy milk. It's so creamy. I love that shit.
I don't drink a lot of soy milk, but Bowser drinks a lot of soy milk. But yeah, no, I love fucking like all the alternative milks. I was like, alternative milk, I was like totally down with like switching to. Other stuff like, I don't want to get like to a huge debate or anything. I'm not trying to make this like a debate thing,
we
but
don't
like,
need a debate.
Yeah, we don't need a debate. But I'm like, how I see it is like, it's not less empathy of like for the animal, and the thing that I always like gravitated towards was like how damaging it was to our planet, like maintaining all these animals and breeding them and keeping these giant pens and
terrible for the planet.
And then having to feed them like the shit we should be eating, like grass and
people are so worried about like carbon monoxide and methane. And what is methane? It's cow farts.
Yeah.
And we have millions and like maybe billions of cows that we breed and we're feeding, and it's like 90%. I don't know the exact statistics. I've seen these upon a time, so feel free to fact check. I need to get just a little pocket. But
consult your vegan handbook.
Yeah, I should write one. There's, I think it's like Norway, or there's a country in the UK where 90% of its crops are used to feed animals to kill, and it's like, we could live off that 90% of crops and just not eat animals, like. So it's like
win-win.
We're doing something that is totally like counterproductive, and it's destroying the earth. Like it's destroying our atmosphere.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what gets me. And like when I was, I want to say 17, 18, I went like, I want to say I called it vegetarian. It was kind of vegan, but I still like drank milk and ate cereal and shit like that. But
it's
I don't know. I called it vegetarian. But anyway, I'm
thinking of these funny terms like freegan and stuff like that, and I'm like trying to avoid saying it because it's like so ridiculous. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
No.
You're like basically vegetarian.
Yeah, basically vegetarian. Yeah. I tried to stop eating meat for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
And then like, I think it was pizza that really got me, like pepperoni pizza, because I don't like cheese pizza. Too basic, and anything else I don't really fuck with unless it's just sauce and shit. So anyway, pizza's what got fucking.
So you don't like vegetables?
I don't like vegetables. Like I don't fucking like vegetables. I don't like fruits. Fruits are supposed to be delicious. They're supposed to be like the candy of nature.
You take vitamins?
Yep.
Okay, good. I was like, worried about you. It's like, is he okay?
That's so funny. Yes, I take vitamins.
Okay, cool. I'm just checking on you, man.
That's so funny. Yes, I'd be unhealthy.
I gotta take my B12, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta take my vitamins.
That's
Everyone should take your vitamins, PSA.
Over here doing psychological therapy on me. Like, does this motherfucker take vitamins? Oh, man. Yeah. I don't like fruit, sensei. Look,
I know, fruit with the fruit.
I can, like...
That one got me. I was like, vegetables, okay. Fruit with the... Man won't eat an orange.
Homie won't eat an orange. She's right. I can't eat an orange. I don't like the texture. It's the texture for me.
Yeah, texture.
Mm-hmm. And I can fuck with an apple. Like, eat an apple. Bananas, I'll fuck up some bananas. I love smoothies. Like banana smoothies and shit. But, like... Nah, man. Like, I don't know why. I just don't like fruits. Yeah. Like, it's weird. I blame my parents.
I blame my parents. Yeah, when I went vegan, like I literally was living off of, before I was living off like pepperoni pizza and chicken nuggets. Mm-hmm. That was it. That was like my whole diet, like since I was a kid. Like I never ate fruit and vegetables and whatever. I mean, yeah, I'll eat a banana and an apple, and I will eat an orange. But yeah, it was like I was never into any of that healthy stuff. I knew I had to change eventually, but I wasn't, you know, because you're always like, I'm gonna hate myself for doing this when I'm like 60, but I'm not 60 right now, so fuck it. But yeah, I was a terrible eater, always junk food, and then when I became vegan, I lived off of barbecue chips and vegan pizza and vegan chicken strips. So it wasn't like it didn't like benefit my health like initially that much, other than animal products just not really being the best for you, especially dairy. But yeah, I basically lived like Oreos are vegan. They're the
Are
shit.
they?
Yes, Oreos are vegan. Yes. It's like the holy grail. It's like a holy grail. When you turn vegan and you find out you can eat Oreos, you like go buy a pack and scarf them down like immediately.
Definitely, dude. That's like my shit.
Yeah, but yeah, I had to try out a lot of new stuff, and I'm really glad that it happened because I really didn't like anything, but now I do eat like vegetables and stuff, and it's insane. Like I eat like rice with like broccoli and carrots and tofu and spinach, and it's like, what the fuck? Who am I?
Yeah.
Like, if you told me I'd be eating this shit like 5 years ago, I'd literally tell you, like, I'd roll my eyes so hard.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be like, what? I can't even. I literally had such a bad like relationship with like food and trying new food that like my grandma wanted me to try pecan pie that I never had tried before because I have a texture thing and it's mushy and I don't like mushy stuff. Post vegan. Yeah, this is when I was like 13 or something. And I literally was like sitting with it, like a small bite of it, like almost like right in front of my mouth, like just sitting with it and like tearing up because I didn't want to try this. I had such bad anxiety about food. And then my grandma looked at me and she was like, oh, that's just pitiful. And then I ate it and I started crying. Like it was so traumatic. Yeah, and then I ate it and I was like, it's not that bad. Like it was terrible, but I always had like the worst time like trying new food. I didn't have ketchup until like 2 years ago.
What?
2 years ago, 24, never ate ketchup in my whole life because it was a sauce. I don't like wet shit in my mouth. And I tried it and it was fucking amazing and I love ketchup and it's vegan. It's serious though. It's serious.
Wait, ketchup's
like,
vegan too?
Ketchup is tomato. I
gotta write a letter. I gotta write a
literally
list.
Tomato and vinegar.
See if I can pull this shit off. Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that's like accidentally vegan.
Texture.
Yeah,
ketchup
texture.
Is all sugar. See, and I love grains, like all
too.
types of grains. I'll eat all grains. I like
cool.
granolas and oats.
That's cool. I eat oatmeal a lot.
Yeah.
I'll do oatmeal, put a spoon of peanut butter in there, some milk on the side. So
yeah, there are options. There are options out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're changing lives today.
Hopefully. There's no reason to eat animal products. Like, people will say, oh, I need to because I don't get this nutrient. There's a vitamin for that. People will say, oh, it's too expensive. Bro, do you know how much rice costs? Like, I'm serious though. I mean, obviously you don't have to live off fucking rice. And it's just like how, like, meat food is. Like, some vegan food is amazing and some of it tastes bad. Like, that's just reality. Like, some vegetarian food's great, some taste bad. Like, I'm not denying that I like the taste of, like, honey and chicken nuggets and honey butter. Like, I loved how that stuff tasted because I was born and raised, like, eating it, you know? It's, like, all I knew. But now, if I had to eat something like that, like, I just can't. Like,
it'd be like the crying eating pecan pie thing again.
Yeah, I had a drink at a restaurant with my boyfriend, and I told the lady to put like soy milk in it, and I swear she did not. I swear it was regular dairy milk. Like, I could tell the difference. At least I thought I could. Like, you know, I didn't make it, but I thought that she didn't substitute it for me, and I only took one sip, and my stomach started turning. I like went to the restroom and threw up because I couldn't. Like, all I could think about was how there was fucking cow milk inside me, and it was just like ruining my whole time.
Damn.
It was like not it.
That sucks. And you gotta be like real trustworthy too. Like,
yeah.
Man.
It's crazy. Yeah, you cannot. I don't think I have eaten at someone else's house. I did eat at someone else. Well, I don't go to a lot of places anyways. Whatever. Yeah. Kind of just chill at home. So, but yeah, I always have to be really aware of like. I mean, it's not that hard though. You just go. I like if I'm going to eat somewhere, I'll just throw into Google, what's vegan at Burger King? You know what I mean? What's vegan at this place? What's vegan at that place?
And that's what's great about like now is like it's easier than ever.
Yeah, it's easier than ever to
like,
be like
10, 20 years ago, like trying to be vegan, like it was.
And there were veganism's been a thing for like thousands of years.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I can't imagine being vegan like 1,000 years ago. Like, I mean, had I been,
you'd be like
exposed to what I've been, I probably still would be, but I probably would be living off fucking rice
and
rice like corn or something, you know.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it's getting easier every day, and places are, releasing more and more vegan options. Like, America is pretty much like the last one on the train, and part of that's just like with Western culture, but a lot of like if you go to the UK, like they have vegan like food like at every like restaurant, like because there's a big community of people that eat vegan food, like whether for their health or not, like if it's their belief, like there's definitely a huge demographic of it, and just need to keep spreading the word.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, it'll never change, but it's like it does change, because if you stop giving the demand, they'll stop supplying it. And if you start buying the vegan options, they'll start making more of those. So it's like there's a bigger picture, you know what I mean?
That's actually a perfect analogy for how I feel about politics as well.
What is it? Explain.
Like, just stop buying into it, you know? Like,
but
I
stop
don't vote.
Voting? Oh, yeah.
I don't vote. I'm openly...
I don't vote either, but it's not that I don't think people should. I think you should probably vote more so in your local elections versus, because the big ones are like, I don't know. I mean, I would say vote, but I don't either. Like, you know what I mean? I think I
think that the people who like pay attention to politics and like know the law and whatever the fuck else that goes on with running a country, they should vote. But I don't think that random Joes on the street who just listen to a newscast. Yeah,
like if you don't really know what impact your choice is gonna make, probably don't.
Exactly.
Make that. It's one of those like,
especially like with the words they use. Like, we're gonna pass like the Cute Babies and Kittens Act, and it's like, well, this is like.
Well, politicians lie about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is I think it is Oak Cliff.
I want coffee painted. I would love coffee. Thank you so much.
Please.
Facts,
yeah.
Facts on facts on facts.
Thank you so much. Nice. So I was listening to this YouTube video today, because I watch a lot of YouTube, and so there's a mayor, Oak Cliff, I think in California. Hey. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No cream or milk or anything dairy.
Sweet. Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you.
I bet. YouTube video.
So, I was watching this YouTube video, and it was talking about how the 911 calls in Oak Cliff are taking up to 10 minutes to be answered, and how they originally, like 4 years ago, their answer time was about 26 seconds. And that's twice the national, like, that's twice the lowest it should be, which is 15 seconds.
Holy fuck.
Or not, that math doesn't add, but you know what I mean. So I was basically watching and listening about this, and the mayor, like, openly said that she was gonna fix it, and they had all this money to put into funding to, like, facilitating, like they had to get a whole new like call center system, because the one they have is like 20 years old, and only one person knows how to work on it, like at this point, to fix stuff. So she had all this money, she got it all approved, and then when it was all supposed to start going down, she just stopped funding for it and just decided not to do it. And then she wouldn't answer, like,
after
presses.
She got the votes.
Yeah, after she gets the votes saying she'll make change, she just denies, like, the funding for it, like, as soon as it's supposed to start happening. And that is insane, because people are literally dying.
Yeah, literally. Like, this is a matter of life and death over here.
Sensei, are you...
Oh, hell yeah. Come toke up. That would be dope.
Isn't Sensei like right next door?
Mm-hmm.
He's always, I see him on SnapMap. He's always like right there, and I'm like, what the heck? What are you doing?
Nobody snap map us. The secret location. We're in a secret facility.
I see him. Look, it says we're together. I would show the camera, but it has street names.
It's so funny.
Yeah, what the hell? That's awesome.
Yeah, man. You got a homie over. Oh, okay, bet. Trying to toke up over here. God, dude, he's dope at Rocket League. All right, let's go back to the other thing I was going to talk about, which was you were. Well, I don't know if we should go back before that. Okay. When did you first decide you were going to start recording music?
I was on the school bus and I was 13. And I was writing a lot of spoken word poetry. And I was like, how can I make this my career, capitalize off of this? And I was like, I'll start making songs. That's when I decided that I was going to record music. But I didn't actually have the opportunity to until I was like 17, 18, probably. Yeah, 18. I met this guy at Whataburger, and we started dating at this one in wherever the fuck I was living, Saginaw, I think. And his friend was a music artist, and I was like, bro, help me. And yeah, and he was down, and he recorded a few songs for me, and that's the first time I ever recorded music. But all that music is 86 off the internet.
Yeah, that's funny.
Gnarly.
Most people have that same answer.
That shit was gnarly.
Spencer said the same shit.
Yeah, it's on something, but only I can listen to it ever.
Privated.
Yeah, it's privated. I'm not one for deleting stuff. I don't like to delete music.
Right.
I feel like I would regret it, you know.
Speaking of which, I forgot to mention, if you press ! Rosae, all her links will pop up. SoundCloud, Spotify, and Instagram. So
yes,
keep that. Yeah, so
he wrote Fernando, L Only Man. Shout out L Only Man.
Okay. That's his stage name or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was in a music video of his that almost went viral. It went semi. I wouldn't even call it semi-viral, but it got thousands of views or whatever, which was a big deal when you're 19. You know, that was 7 years ago on YouTube. So it was called Fuck Donald Trump or something. And we made a music video where I had the Donald Trump mask on. It was a big paper mache Donald Trump mask. And I was doing his mannerisms on this podium. And he had beef with a Latin American reporter at that time. And so L Only Man dressed up as the reporter, and I was dressed as Donald Trump, and we did this whole shtick. And basically he was rapping, and I'm this video might still be online, and I'm dancing as Donald Trump in the background. It's so ridiculous.
That sounds amazing, honestly.
It's so funny. Yeah. It's hilarious. But yeah, that he's a cool guy. I don't know if he's still, I think he's trying to dabble in music again. He took a break for 4 years. But yeah, he's a cool guy, and he helped me kind of get my training wheels for recording. And then I recorded a song with my boyfriend at the time, which was awesome, and I think he deleted it because I bodied him on that song. Oh, shit. But yeah, he deleted it, and I'm pretty sure, and I mean, it sounds so stupid to say shit like this, but I don't know. It was a weird time in both of our lives, and I did really good. I didn't do really good, but I did good on that song.
But you both know you did better than him.
Yeah, we both. Everyone who heard it knew, and people were commenting, and I think he was probably a little embarrassed, so he just removed it. Which might not have been the case. I didn't ask him why he removed it, so it could have been a completely different thing, and he could not care. So I don't want to put that on him. Yeah. But that's what I think in my heart of hearts. Yeah. But yeah, I recorded a couple songs with him, and then around that time, maybe 6 months later or something, I don't know, it was maybe 19, 20. So I met Spencer through L Only Man.
Okay.
So boyfriend introduced me to L Only Man, and I went to L Only Man's house when Spencer was there one day recording. So he was recording Spencer to feature on one of L Only Man's songs. And I don't know how we became friends. Like, it's just like one of those things that it just happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can't like pinpoint when we started. I can't pinpoint like when we started hanging out. Like, I think maybe I wanted to work with him or something, because obviously he's very talented. So and he seemed chill. I mean, we all smoked weed, so we were all cool. Like, so I don't know exactly how I started hanging out with him, but we did start hanging out, and we basically worked on this song together called "I Can't Stand You," and it was like, I think it's like the first song on my Spotify. Is "I Can't Stand You" featuring Spencer Lee.
Okay.
And it's really cool. We were both pissed off about different people and different things, and we were like, I was like, let's make this song, and let's make this hook like this, and then he was like, let's do it, and then we recorded it, and it was like, it's not like my best song by any means, but it has a really good memory behind it, and I really liked that was like a really good, just like session. Fun. Yeah, it was a good session. I mean, we've had a lot of great sessions, but that session was really cool. It like we wrote that song in like a couple hours and then just recorded it, and I think it was like done that day. I think so. Like, I mean, this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I know that we were both like really into what we were talking about, and it's like easy to write when you're like, I know what I want to say. So it was really cool. And then I love that song because I wrote the hook to where, so it chants like, I can't stand you, I can't stand you, I can't stand you, I can't stand you. And then it goes like over that chant, it's I can't stand you. And then so the last hook, it was like I can't stand you. And then he said, I can't stand you after I did. And then we both said, we can't stand you. We can't stand. And then I was like, let's not say you. Because when we perform this song, the crowd will say you. Yeah. And then it worked like the first time. And like every time we performed that song, like I just remember the moment when we performed it for the first time. And we were both like, we can't stand. And the people were like, you. And we just looked at each other and like dabbed each other up. Like it was such a pure like moment. And I was like, yes, I knew that would happen. So yeah, it was so awesome. That was
that the first time you ever performed together ever? Like,
oh well, when we performed that song. Well,
did you like stack up a catalog by that time?
Okay, so there was this group. Sensei, I think, was involved. This was like so long ago. This was before I Can't Stand You, I think. With KJ and someone else. It was when Sensei was going by like Domo, I think. But it was like 4 people, I think. I don't know how many, because I wasn't like, I knew the guys, but I wasn't like, I was like a chick, so I wasn't like in the clique with all the dudes that constantly hang out. But I did like do a couple songs with them, like with their little group. And I was like kind of in it, kind of like, but I didn't like hang out with them all the time, you know what I mean? So like I did a couple songs with them. And I think they're on like Bandcamp or some shit, dude. But my first time ever performing was like a Halloween show. I performed, Young Nomads. A Halloween show, I performed on a song that we all did together that they, like, it was like them performing, and then I like performed with them. So that was my first time ever performing, and then I did not have like a catalog. I just had those songs that I erased from the world, and then those songs that my boyfriend at the time deleted, and then I had a couple songs with them, and then me and Spencer did the I Can't Stand You song.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like, that's kind of like how
So you had spots like throughout the show, you just didn't have like your own set?
No, I just kind of like hopped on with like their songs, like when you do a song and you're like, my friend's gonna come up for this song, I like kind of like hopped up there.
So how'd you feel about performing for the first time, like on a stage?
So nervous. Like it was I was really happy to do it though. It was so fun, and obviously first time I thought I did terrible, but apparently I didn't do terrible at all because everyone was like, oh, good job, or Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But I do remember being nervous, and I remember being, like, really happy about it at the same time, because it was something I always wanted to do, like, perform.
Did it, like, further, like, cement, like, this is what you want to do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, every time I perform, I'm like, I need to do better, like, next time. Like, I need to make better music. Like, yeah, it just kind of, like, reinforces like what I feel like I should be doing, kind of thing. So yeah, definitely.
That's dope. I know, like some people some people have gotten scared away or did get scared away. Like I've heard that Adele like hates performing live and doesn't it's too nervous and.
I mean, amazing, I don't know how I'd feel performing in front of like 20,000 people, but in front of like 20 is fine.
Man, I don't know. I feel like it'd be the opposite for me. Like, if there's like 20 or 30 people, I feel like every one of them is like laser focused on me. Where if it was like a sea of people, I probably would disconnect a little bit more. I wouldn't want
honestly,
to.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just more like just a mass of flesh.
Like I don't ever like. I did at one point really care about how many people were there, but at this point I give no fucks. Like I don't care, and like I don't want a headlining slot. Like I want to be like early or like in the middle, because honestly that's when you get the best crowd anyway. But I really don't care. Like at this point where I'm at now, I don't really care about like how many people are in the crowd, and I don't really I don't know. I just don't know where I'm at. Like with performing, like I said, I really want to make new stuff, more like intricate and more like personal stuff. So I've been like kind of like disassociating from like what I've been doing as like a rap artist, you know? So I don't know. But yeah, I obviously love when people come and like when they say like they think I did a good job, it like means the world to me, and it like fills my heart when I see people come and like there's a good crowd, and that's amazing. But it's like, not like why I do it. You know what I mean? I just do it because I want to do it. So it gets done. But
yeah, you said like you get the best crowd if you're like in the middle or whatever. Like what would you define as like the best crowd? Like what do you mean by that?
The largest.
Largest?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like at this point, like it's cool. Like I've done a lot of opening and it doesn't bother me. Like I don't mind opening because you get to set the tone. And I like to try to set the tone, like, because honestly, like, as a female artist, especially rapper, people don't think I'm gonna do any good. Like, and then I go and I do it and I'm awesome. And they're like, well, what the fuck? Like, people will literally come up to me after my set and be like, wow, you're actually good. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm actually good. I mean, in person, I'm like, thank you. And I'm used to hearing it at this point. But it's really, like, it's lame. Like, then people think I'm gonna suck, so they'll just make me the opener, and then they find out I don't suck, and they're like, oh, shit. And, like, it's a whole thing. Like, I gotta go through it with every promoter that ever works with me. They gotta make me first, because they think I'm gonna suck, and then I don't fucking suck, and then, it just goes
deflates the rest of the show, and someone's gotta follow you. I'm like, what are they gonna do?
I mean, all respect to, like, the other people, but, I definitely just, like, when someone makes me open, like, I feel that. When someone makes me open, it almost makes me want to perform, like, way harder, perform, like, way better. Like, I don't know why.
Almost definitely.
It's like I gotta prove you wrong now, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, just because I'm opening doesn't mean that they feel that way. I'm not gonna read anyone's mind on that. Like, they have other deals with other artists. There's a lot of moving factors, but it has happened where, at least a couple of times, like, I can tell when I perform and someone's like, oh, like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, it's really pretty comical.
Most definitely. Yeah, dude, I've always been, like, the only, like, musician at rap shows, like, whenever we had, like, the band thing that was going on, like, we'd always love opening because we'd wake everybody the fuck up. Like, we knew, like, as soon as, like, I hit like a distorted ass guitar chord or whatever over like a 808 rap beat and a fucking deep ass bass and shit like that, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" And
they're gonna come watch.
Yeah, they're gonna come
when I hear band music at a rap show, I gotta watch that set. Like, it's so awesome.
Not to say that we didn't piss off every single sound guy that we ever played a show. Every time there was a sound guy at a hip hop show, he'd be like, "Wait, what? Y'all got a band? Y'all got instruments?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "God damn it! He didn't tell me there's gonna be a band today." So they have to like pull out extra mics to like mic up the kid with the guitar or the cabinet or whatever the fuck. It's a burden on them, but hey, good shit.
So, best crowd. I didn't mean like I don't want it because so basically what I mean by that is the most people.
Yeah.
Because this is like my trade secret I learned by doing shows and like setting them up and curating them is that your best crowd's gonna be like 10:30 and like after that, because the reason why is because it's everyone is still there that came to see the opener and everyone is getting there that wants to see the headliner. So you have the most amount of people in like this window like of the middle of the show kind of thing, and so that is honestly, I would always. This is so dumb. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would. Anyways, I'm not gonna say. Never mind. I would never make when I had my music group. I never made us headline. I mean, except maybe once. I definitely never had me headline. And in the beginning, it wasn't for like a having the middle crowd like thing because I didn't know that was a thing. It was really just we weren't as established as a lot of the other artists in our scene, and I wanted them to be the headliners just because I feel like they should be. Like, I'm not about to have like Little Dirt open for my group. Like, that's weird. And, you know, vice versa with like Level 9 and J3 and all the people that I did perform with. Like, I wasn't about to do that. But then when I like started feeling out the shows and I just started noticing that since we had like those 10:30 like sets, it was like the most packed. And I mean, we did put on a good show, so I'm not gonna say it was only like a lot of people were coming to see us. It was really interesting. I kind of like made this whole new scene that wasn't even a part of the scene that was in Denton. It was so crazy. Like, I don't even know how it came about, but like a lot of people were coming to these shows that I was throwing, and it was a bunch of people that I never met at any of the other shows in Denton. So it was really interesting. But we made like our whole own little scene, and so everyone knew me and my group, and so I could blame a lot of the crowd interaction on just them like knowing who we were and just not really knowing who the other people were. But at the same time, we would have our sets in those like sweet spots, you know, where people are getting there to see them and they're still here because they saw the openers and type stuff. So yeah, and then my birthday show I did at Killer's Tacos. I made sure we were like a 10:30 slot too. Yeah, it's like a little secret.
Yeah,
don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone. And show up to every show about 10:30.
I don't know, but that's what I would do. But nowadays, it's not even. You can't even really rely on that. Like, I don't know. It's show to show. You can't depend on that.
It's been kind of weird. And then also like with the whole Ticketmaster, like, you know, that drama between like tickets, like Ticketmaster like takes a lot of money basically out of the pockets of the performers of like normally more bigger bands and like bigger independent artists and stuff like that. Yeah. But like, yeah, it's just like even like our Cosmos and Chaos show was like hosted by Eventbrite, and they got like a part of the door money and shit like that, and it's like, you know, why wouldn't that go to the venue or the artist or whatever? Like, I forget like exactly like how it's okay, like, but it's a fucked up thing that's going on right now. And so you have to like sell merch, and
you have to sell merch if you want to make any money at all. Yeah, like you're not gonna make it off streams unless you hit that one song that like blows up, which I mean people do all the time. So everyone keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, but yeah, I've never worked with like Eventbrite or Ticketmaster as of now, but yeah, I don't agree with the whole pay-to-play thing. I've only done that twice in my life, and first time I didn't even want to do it, but the promoter set up a GoFundMe for me before I even like was like yes or no. And so I just kind of like went off it, whatever. And then, which I'm so surprised people actually donated to pay for me to play this show. It was ridiculous. So weird. Yeah, it was so not worth it.
There was a lot of those pay to plays like in the like mid 2010s or whatever. Like we did a fair share of those. I don't know if you mean like where you buy the ticket, like you get the ticket bundle and you sell a certain amount, right?
Yeah. Like I did pay to play Wild Bill, but that's because I knew he was like he's a popular artist and he's local, and I've seen him perform. I saw him perform at that Kasky show. The only reason I paid to play the Wild Bill was because I've seen him perform, and I know he's a good artist, and I would like to be on a show with him and have that on my card. And it was only like $100,
right?
But normally it's like freaking $200 or $250 to pay to play a show. Yeah. That people have to still pay $20 to get into.
Mm-hmm.
This shit's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
This shit's ridiculous. And like these people will they'll fucking put some dude on a show, like they'll get some guy that has like a SoundCloud hit, like they'll put like Father on a show on a Sunday and then try to get these local artists to pay to open up for Father on a Sunday. Like anyone's gonna come to that, and then they'll get these local artists that have no money that are trying to genuinely just be like cool people and just make music and do shows, and they make them pay the headliner. It's like, don't throw a show if you can't pay for the headliner yourself.
Right.
Like there's no reason you should be getting these local artists who half the time are kids that work like full-time jobs and pay all their own bills and shit, and they have to pay you to play a show. Like, I think it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And I think that if you're gonna put someone on a show, you should be able to pay them.
Yeah.
Like, if your artist that you're putting on headliner cannot pull tickets, and you need to get these kids to pay you, and I say kids generally, it's any age, but you need to get these people to pay you to be on that show so you can pay them, and you can get their local like fan base to come to that show, because that person is not bringing a crowd because no one knows who that is anymore. Like, no, I guarantee no. It's just no. So
it's like a new type of scam.
It is like a scam.
It literally is a scam. Like,
oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
I don't know who came up with it or who popularized it, but like it actually is happening. Like, I don't.
And it sucks because people are naive and they'll pay because they think they're like, oh yeah, everyone knows like who this is, and it's like, yeah, they know who it is, but they don't give a shit. Like, that person has no like. They don't have, like, a following anymore, and that's why you're having to pay them out of your pocket to bring all your fans to their show, when you know y'all don't make the same kind of music. So, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I subscribe to this, like, one playlist called, like, Envy on the Move or something like that. I've been on it for a long time, but it's, like, supposed to find you shows, right? So, send me an email for, like, every so often, be like, looking for a show in Dallas or looking for a show in Austin or something like that, anywhere I'm near, and then... Like, the last couple of times I went on it, I'm like, yo, hey, I'm available to open a show in Dallas show at this event, blah, 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 like, all the information that they wanted. And then they're like, yeah, okay, it'll be $100 to get on the show. And I'm like, whoa, I'm like, hold up, what do you mean? Like, you're going to pay me? No. The first time, I think that's, like, literally, I thought that they were like, okay, you're going to pay me $100. I was like, yeah, like, okay, $100 is all right. And then they're like, no, you're going to pay me $100. I was like, no, I'm not paying you anything. Yeah, like, I'm bringing my shit to the show.
No, not even.
How do you thought this worked? Like,
yeah, no, there are some, like, promoters and, like, show curators that do a good job and do pay. Like, I did this show at Rubber Gloves in Denton, and I got paid, like, $50 to do that show. And,
Rubber Gloves is dope.
Yeah, so, like, there are people doing God's work out there. So if the shoe doesn't fit, like, you know, don't wear it. Don't take offense to it. But a lot of people are, like, taking advantage of people just so they, like, I don't know, I feel like it's like a greed thing and like a pride thing all wrapped up in one, and like a control thing. Like, they want to be the guy you go to get shows, but you also have to pay them to get the shows, and not everyone's making people pay to play and stuff. Like, there's decent promoters out there, But in like a Wild Bill show, I'm happy to pay that. And then on top of paying $10, I got 25 or $10. On top of paying $100, I got 25 tickets to sell at $10 each. Like if I had like a good crowd pool, I could have made $150. Like that's a decent like pay to play. Like especially if it was someone I wanted to perform with. But yeah. If someone's
Did you make
asking
merch,
you,
like, for that show, or
no, I've never had merch.
Really? My
whole fucking career. I'm so fucked up on that.
We did everything so backwards. Like I swear, we like, had merch before we recorded songs.
That's good. I mean, you sold it, right? I think I need to.
Yeah, right when the Trump thing happened, my brother came up with a hat that says "Make Rap Great Again."
That's awesome.
And like he made them that week. He made like 5 or 10 of them, and we only had one left by the time of the end of the first show. I was like, okay, that's
if he sold those online, he would have made like millions.
Yeah, I know. Like we should probably bring them hoes back.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that. I'll wear one.
Or keep rap great. I guess now update it.
Oh yeah, update
it was more of a
round
time.
2.
Yeah, it's like more of a time sensitive thing, but they worked. Like it was like it was Tomcats. I think we played.
Tomcats was cool.
Yeah, I don't think they exist anymore. Honestly, does it?
Really?
I think they closed it. It's weird.
Wow.
Because there's like all of like
I saw Ice9 Kills perform at Tomcats. Yeah. First time I was like 17. I got one of the dudes was playing in a band up there, and I got his number. It was so funny because it was really awkward.
Like an opener?
Yeah, one of the like openers or whatever. Yeah, it was so funny because I was 17 and I walked up to this guy. He was still on stage. And he had this tattoo, and I was like, hey, I like this tattoo. And he was like, thanks. And then I don't know if, I think I was like, can I have your number? And he didn't say yes. What he said was, he was like, how old are you? And then I told him, and I don't think he could hear me because it was so loud because of the bands. And he just like, I told him, and then he just went like, and he just gave me his number. It was so funny.
So they called me in like 11 to 12 months.
Yeah, he was like, I can't even hear you, but whatever, just take it. It was so funny.
So funny.
That dude is actually one of my friends now. We're not like nothing like happened. It was really funny though because that's how we met. I had like an Ice9 Kills show, and now we're just like homies. But it was so funny. I've actually put him on some of my shows, so but I won't go into like detail who he is. But it's really funny. He's funny.
That is hilarious.
He's a cool guy. But yeah, shows. It's all a conspircy. You know what I mean?
Wait.
Pay to play.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. I was like, what were we talking about?
It's all lizard people doing those kind of things, so don't sell your soul.
It literally is. Yeah, when you're talking about, like, I didn't know if, like, what you meant by, like, good crowd was also, like, by the end of the show, also the people have drank the most. So they're kind of checked out mentally, too.
Yeah.
So I noticed that as well. Like, I've played a show where, like, people are like, that's so fucking awesome. And like after the show is like they're clearly not like they're clearly fucked up, right? And then the next day they're like, yeah, did you record your show? Because I don't remember. I'm like, dude, you told me it was awesome or whatever.
That's so funny.
So like so I feel like that middle point is great for a lot of reasons, and people aren't totally wasted yet.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. That's a really good point.
Yeah. So don't headline. You want to open.
Don't headline unless they're paying you, I guess.
Yeah. Always get paid. Always get paid.
Always get paid. Yeah. Or like, if not paid, then just like, you know. I mean, I guess everyone. I don't know. If not paid, then just don't pay them. Yeah. Like the
least. Don't lose money. Don't walk away from a show with less money. You know?
Yeah.
You want to get emails. You want to try to sell some merch.
Yeah, get merch. Don't
get
be
merch.
like
Selling
me.
Merch.
I need to, before I start doing shows again, because I'm taking a break until next year. So before I start doing shows again, I need to get merch done. Like,
so you're taking a break till next year? You mean like you have a set date when you're going to come back, or?
I'm just going to start taking on shows whenever I feel comfortable, and I don't think it'll be till at least next year. So it might not even be next year, but I just said next year just to kind of get everyone like off of asking me to do shows, even though people still are asking me. Which is cool. Like, keep asking me. One day I'll say yes, but like, yeah, at the moment I'm just taking like a break and just like working on like myself as like a person and like trying to, you know, work on like being healthy and like making better choices, being like a grown up. I got this like manager job now, so I'm doing all that, but I also want to find my footing in something more like musical and not like as much just like rapping on a beat, you know. I want to figure something out that's more like spiritually intrusive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It sounds like from like what you said earlier, it sounds like you kind of want to be like a producer, like you're talking about like putting your friends on and like telling them put your voice here and all that. It sounds like you'd be a great producer, like as far as like even if someone like brought a song to you, you could like kind of guide them through it or like make it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I always like that's funny because I was used to be in the theater. I was a theater kid, and I always wanted to like be a director. So that's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
But just with music, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think I need to know how to play instruments though to
you
produce.
Don't. There's a bunch of producers that don't
just
have
get people together and be like, make it sound like
like Rick Rubin's famous for that. Like, well, he played guitar in a fucking thing. But he said he never learned like more than the 3 chords or whatever, and he always called himself the reducer, not the producer. You know?
That's so funny.
Because like he'll be like, okay, you went too far here, like, or that instrument's too much, don't do that, or like.
I've done that.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just a guiding thing. Like you can produce and not know a damn thing.
I might want to do that. If anyone of you want me to produce something, hit me up.
Hey y'all. Do you like have a DAW? Do you like work in a
I have FL Studio.
Oh yeah, that's all you need.
That's
FL
all
gang.
you need. That's all you need. Yeah, and I bought like some beat packs. Like I don't know if you know who Willie Crooks is. So dope. But yeah, I bought
like some
packs.
like sample like loops and stuff.
Yeah, and like his own like basses and like 808s that he makes. I'll just scroll like Reddit and find all of the like free to use like beat packs that people will post on there occasionally, and I download all of them. Like, but yeah, I can definitely start. I want to start getting into making my own beats, like, and that could be like a guitar track or like actual beat, anything. I think it's like funner, and I think live music, like you said, playing with a band, I think that would be way more fun.
It's so much more fun. Like,
yeah, than just standing there with a mic and being like, hold on, let me drink water, and having nothing else going on behind me while I'm taking like a water break.
That's what I'm saying. I always say I felt naked on stage with like guitar. Like now, it's like I have like a segment in my show where all I have is a mic and like it's just a beat because songs that guitars didn't fit or just whatever, but just rap songs or whatever. But I never wanted to do that. I either have an acoustic or an electric guitar, and I'm playing something or singing something at some point during the song. So, like, even then, I'm still kind of constrained to like the beat, like waiting, like it starts and then waiting for it to end, and that's the whole song. Whereas, like with a band, you can be like, no, you know,
yeah, like 10-minute songs, like keep it going.
Yeah, like, and that's also another thing. What you reminded me of about saying good crowd, bad crowd is like. 2018, 2019, I was going to an open mic every Monday for that whole couple years, and there's a house band there, greatest fucking band ever.
That's awesome.
Like they were, you could play any song and they would like kind of figure it out, even if they didn't really know it, they would kind of figure it out. If they did know it, it'd be even better because they'd be like doing the chord changes and everything. But they were incredible. Like the bass player named Bo Jacoby was the drummer, fucking incredible. Octavian played keys, and then Reese Bailey on the sax. I've had him technically on 2 songs. He did the saxophone solo and one for the one I talked about it earlier. But
where was this venue?
This was it used to be called Whiskey Business. Closed now. Yeah, it's just like a bar.
I love that name.
Yeah, I know,
Whiskey
right?
Business.
I was there every week. It was amazing.
That's good though. That's a good way to network and meet so many people, and then just like let your creative juices flow. Just like open mic nights. I do a lot of karaoke. I've done a lot of karaoke. Yeah. Me and Colton did karaoke like at least once a week. It was usually always every Wednesday at least, like for a straight year.
Hell yeah.
I think I did it for probably like 2 years. But yeah, it was great.
Some people kind of would turn it into like a glorified karaoke, like where they would just like go and like, band, do you know this song? And then they would play the song and people would sing.
That's cool.
There's one dude that always did Coldplay. He was a great singer. yeah, some people just like some chick always came in did like old swing songs. So yeah, it was really cool. It was a really good mixed bag too of like different artists. Like you have like all my friends be like bringing like some post punk like acoustic punk kind of stuff, and then I'd be like doing that weird like in between indie rock shit, but like also rapping sometimes, and then like nice. It was just like a crazy vibe, and I miss those days so much. Yeah, it's good times. So yeah, last thing I want to talk about. We've already hit 2 hours, but you used to run like a house venue in Denton.
Yes, I did.
So how did that come to be?
I needed a place to live. So did my other friend, and we joined forces to rent a house. And we were also in this music group together. And basically, he had another house with his like on and off girlfriend, and so I was living at this house, this like 4-bedroom house, basically like by myself. And I kind of like always, because he always ended up going and staying with that girl at his other house. So I basically, they had one of the rooms used to be a garage, and they renovated it into just a huge room. Okay. Like, so I was like, this would be perfect for shows. Like, we need to throw shows here. So I went to Walmart and we bought like a bunch of like $10 rugs and put them all in the corner. And then he actually bought like all the equipment and bought like the big light stands, and then the huge like speakers and everything, and like the like turntable and everything, like all of this stuff, like everything. I don't know what half that shit's called. But he bought all of the stuff, even though he wasn't there like half the time. And so essentially, like, once we got all the equipment, I bought a bunch of like tables and chairs for the outside, and we had a huge yard with like a privacy fence, and it was on like the corner. It was on a street called Driftwood Trail. And so I was in that music group still, the Meddling Kids, and I wanted to start throwing shows, and so I put together a show, and the house, I called it, since it was on Driftwood Trail, we called it Drift House.
Oh, okay.
So it was like Drift House Denton, which was cool because I wanted to commodify it and like do a Driftwood Denton, a Driftwood Fort Worth, Driftwood Dallas. I thought that would be a cool concept. And I mean, maybe that can come to fruition one day, I don't know. But I thought that was a cool like idea. Yeah, Sensei performed there at least a couple times for sure. And I had like Spencer perform, I had a bunch of awesome artists. My friend's band performed there for the first time. I had Feng Shui and Kid Splinter all performing at there. And then my band performed. I had J3 and Lil Durr and Level 9 and just a bunch of artists. Pretty much anyone. I also had like Con the Baptist perform there, and he does like kind of more EDM. Pretty much if you wanted to perform, like, I would let you. Like, I was like always about just getting people together. The whole vibe was just bringing as many people together. It was always BYOB. It was always free. And it was always, like, 18 and up, but you know what I mean? Like,
that's dope.
I'm not checking fucking IDs.
So you said you put, like, the chairs outside? Like, was there, like, a open...
So, it was like, so people performed in that garage room, but it was just me living there, and then I got a couple roommates to move in, like a couple, but they were, like, 18, so they were just kids, and then I got Colton to move in. He came to one of my shows, actually. And then we started working on music the next day, and then he just kind of like never left, and he just like moved in. So that's who was taking up the 3 rooms, and then I had that showroom, and then we had a living room, and then we had a dining room, but I just put couches in both, so we had like 2 like lounge areas, and then you go down this hallway,
everything.
Well, there was like a doorway, so it was kind of like, it got kind of stuffy in there, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, you know, that's how house shows go. They're like rancid. Like, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was definitely like stuffy, you know. So yeah, but outside, if you go outside to my backyard, there's like a huge land. It's a bunch of grass. Like, I mean, like, I would cut the grass, but anyways, it's like a huge wide open area, and so I put like tables and chairs out there for people to like sit at and hang out while they're smoking. And I had like a little set here, I had like chairs and a table here so people could have their own little groups, and I bought like tiki torches and like lights for outside, so it was like everyone could see. It was so like in depth. Like I put like a lot of thought and a lot of like care into like making it like a fun place for everyone to like be at and hang out. And it was like just about everyone coming and like meeting new friends and like seeing cool shows and a cool performance. Like that's like what it was about, and I think that's what like helped us like cultivate that like scene that we did have. It was just a bunch of cool people. Like I didn't even ever meet half these people, but like our shows would get like a lot of people coming. Like we had at least like 50 to 100 people, probably like more like 100 people like every show.
Was it like growing? Was like something?
Yeah, it was growing. This one time, oh my god, I collabed like. It wasn't even a show. I just collabed like having a New Year's Eve party with one of my friends who has like a big like pool, and we had so many people at my house. Like I couldn't even walk. Like you couldn't walk. Like the garage room was full, this room was full, the kitchen room was full, and you couldn't even get like out my door to like the outside. It was so crazy. But it was always a good time. It was so fun. It was a lot of stress though, because you know I have to clean up after everyone leaves.
I was about to say, I was like, that must have been the worst.
Yeah, I always had Durns. Durns would always stay after and help me out, and there was a couple other people that would stay and help.
Did you have like any like, hey, can you like try to be not? Did you ever have like a talk to your like if people coming in like or like a sign up that says clean up after yourself, or do you try?
No, I had a curtain I hung that said do not pass this, that went to all of our bedrooms right after the restroom. But
so people respected that pretty well, or
yeah, pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I think the only time someone ever crossed it was someone who thought he was cool enough with me to come, and then when he came, I was like, go. Like I mean, I was like pretty straight up. I was like, I did not invite you. I was like, did you read the sign? Like I felt like I feel bad like looking back, but at the same time I was like, no. You don't just follow me and all my friends because you think we're that close, because we just weren't that close. Yeah. But yeah, I only had one person do like that, and then I also had these kids stay. Like the show ended and everyone was gone except these kids were passed out on my couch, like all fucked up. I don't know what they were on, but we had to get them like a ride to wherever they were supposed to be.
Like the police?
Nah. We got one of them to like come to. I mean, I wasn't like, you know, it was a different time, so I didn't know like how to really like handle it. But I was kind of just like, you know, irritated, and I was like, y'all like can't be at my house. Right. Like you cannot just sleep on my couch like until you're okay. Cool. Like you gotta go. Like
were they like trying to wave you off? Like no.
Oh, there was this one time. Well, they were like passed out. Like off like Xanax or something, you know what I mean? So they were just like not there, but one of his friends was kind of there. And then like one of these dudes, I don't even remember, it was so long ago, but one of these guys, one time after a show, he like got upset that we were like trying to push for them to leave, even though he was like the last person there. But it's like I have like 7 people in my rap group and my roommates, so there's still 10 people there. So people get the assumption that there's like an after kickback when really it's not. It's all my close friends, so you gotta go. So like he was like upset. He was like, oh, I'm just waiting on my Uber, and then it got to the point like he just started like butting heads with all the other dudes that lived with me, and I had to physically like kick him out myself. Damn. Because my guy friends wanted to fight him. So like I like got in between them, and I like pushed this guy like, and he like flew like all the way out of my house, and I was like, you need to wait at the street, like you cannot wait on my property anymore, you gotta go. And that definitely happened. That was crazy. But yeah, he talked some shit to Durns, who was behind me, and he was like, fuck you and your pink hair, like something like that, because Durns had pink hair. It was so ridiculous.
They always gotta say some shit like that.
Yeah, but I definitely bounced that guy, and then all my friends were like, "Ooh," like it had to be done though. It's like, get out of here.
Did that like kind of lead to the end of the venue? Is that like the kind of thing?
No, it just kind of ended because the lease ended, and I wasn't trying to re-sign the lease with all the people I was living with at the time. I think a couple of them were moving, and then there was like some static going on with the other roommates, so we kind of just decided to part ways. So that kind of is what happened. I mean, I'm cool with like almost all of them now, except like someone, but I'm cool with everyone now. But yeah, we just had to have that time. You know how it is when you like live with your friends. Like, it can get really like, it's like you love them and they're great, but you can't always live with them.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just like we all needed our space, and I didn't want to have to go through having to find new people. And so yeah, I just kind of moved out. I stayed with a friend like on her couch for like a few months, and then I found my own apartment. And yeah, the house show thing and the show thing in general just kind of like died down after that. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool that you did that though. I mean, like,
it was fun. Yeah, it was a wild time, and I'd do it again.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So it's like BYOB, but is like, did you ever like consider trying to generate money from it? Like, give me $5 and you come in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like hindsight that would have been cool, but I knew that if it was
cleaning up after these people.
Sure, but I just kind of didn't care about that. All I cared about was people coming and having a good time.
Like the community.
Yeah, I just cared about making sure people had a place to like all come together, and like, you know, if I did it now, maybe I would have like some paid shows or always $5 or something. Like, I think at one point I did have like a donation, but it was only like one or two of the shows, and yeah, I just kind of wasn't focused on that. I was just more concerned with just like keeping the momentum of having shows like once a month and like building this like community that we had. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely not a bad idea to. I had some people like pay me to rent my house out to throw their own shows.
Oh yeah.
So they would like charge people and stuff,
That's
and I'd
cool.
still like advertise it, but you know, with their flyer and everything. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was a good time. I'm glad I did it. I would do it again. But,
is there like I feel like you might have already said it, but I was like, what's the craziest thing that happened like at a show?
At a show.
Maybe from the Drift House, but maybe otherwise, like that you've been to.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Craziest thing that happened at a. Well, I did think it was crazy. This one time, these people from Dallas rented my house, and they turned the bass up so loud, and it was 10 o'clock, and the show had not even really started yet. Maybe it was 9. I went up to them and I told them, hey, you need to turn that down. Like, you don't need the bass like all the way up. Like, I'm trying to have a show like continue and actually make it through the night.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, yeah, and they didn't turn it down. And then I told them one more time, I was like, you need to turn this down, or like, you know, this is not going to work out. Like, someone's going to call somebody because it's so loud.
Yeah.
And they still did not turn it down. And then literally before it was even 10 o'clock, I had like 6, 7, 8 cops like in my yard telling me that I need to shut it down, and like it smells like weed and I can go to jail because people are underage and drinking. And I was just like, if it smells like, I didn't bring the weed that's here. If it smells like weed, I have no weed because I didn't even have any weed at that time. But those people thought that I called the cops.
Are you serious?
I was like, bro,
why would you do that?
Paid me to use my house, and I told you to turn the music down so no one would call the cops. And then they started like, they were like, oh, this is sketchy. Like, I was like, bro, I told you the steps you needed to take for the cops to not be there. And then they just like talked amongst themselves and decided that I called the cops. And I was like, bro, what the fuck?
The audacity.
I was just like, dude, you're just so wild for that. Like, and it was funny because he was posting the flyer with my address all over it. And apparently when the cops got there, they all knew who he was. So it was like, they were like, oh, like, we know you, like, you throw all these parties. So, like, bro, so they were keeping an eye on that guy anyway.
So they know
probably.
him because he's like
Yeah,
he usually turns the bass up, and they usually come.
They knew him from other parties because it was a college town, bro. And then they tried to like say that I called the cops. I was like, bro, you're ridiculous. I cleaned my whole house for y'all to have
your own show.
I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But I ended up paying him back, like the money. Like I didn't pay him back his deposit because I like took off that day and everything. But he paid like an additional $50 like on the day of, and I paid him that back because I was like.
Did they just leave after that?
Yeah, they all had to go.
Bye.
Like the cops were not gonna leave until everyone else left. Yeah. Like, and then I had people like knocking on my door, lights off, no music playing. And people were knocking out on my door at like 2 a.m. Like, is this where the party's at? And I was like, does it look like there's a party in here? Like, no.
Oh my god.
So, I mean.
Did that ever happen on a day that there wasn't a show?
No. Thank God.
I know, because that would have been grounds to leave too.
Yeah, it was basically just like a party house. Me, like, I was like 21. Drinking all the time, taking shrooms and acid all the time, and smoking a lot of weed. So it was like a good like time. It was fun, I guess I would say. But yeah, I would definitely do it again. Probably, I don't know, bro. Probably have my own DJ, so other people don't turn their shit up.
Yeah, exactly. Like some decibel meter or something.
Yeah, but I think that's the most wild thing that's happened to me, just because, like, I could not believe that shit. Yeah. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
What about another show?
Huh?
What about another show? I always ask because, like, at 2 different shows, I saw someone break something, like a leg and an arm.
Oh,
like,
man.
2 different shows, completely unrelated. So shit. I feel like everybody who like goes to a show, there's got to be like, some crazy thing that happened.
I don't know if there's a crazy thing, but I do remember JJ's when they used to do like punk shows down there.
JJ's Basement?
Mm-hmm.
That's the last show I went to before COVID hit.
Damn.
Yeah,
my friends in a band, I think, Blot Out, they were doing like a music video, and it was just cool. I just like seeing people like climb the like roof columns. Yeah. So it was like there's a huge pit, and there's people like climbing and jumping into the pit. So that was pretty crazy. But I mean, honestly, if something crazy happened, I was probably really lit, and I don't even remember.
Yeah. So. I'm always like stone sober, so I guess that's why I remember everything.
That's like, good. Yeah. I am now. Like I haven't been like drinking or.
Anything, you don't drink at all, or you just stopped, or like you haven't in a while?
I just stopped drinking. It's been like 4 months. I don't know if it's a for life thing or not, honestly. But I mean, I'm just kind of like not trying to not like let it like cloud what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just trying to get like my shit together.
Yeah.
Or whatever they say. So yeah, I've just kind of like taken a step back from like drinking and smoking and everything. So I've been like sober for a long time. It's just crazy.
Must be fun.
It's really crazy.
Like I smoke weed like all day, every day, but like.
Well, that's fine.
But with like alcohol, like kind of do the same thing. Where like I didn't think that I quit. Like I wasn't sure I was gonna continue. Like if I was ever gonna drink again, but it had like been like 4 months, 6 months, a year, and I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna drink again. And it just never vibed with me anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel healthier, like.
Yeah. Not like bloated. I'm not hungover every day. Yeah, that's like.
I mean, besides drinking, I'm like just being like sober from like weed and everything.
Yeah, because weed was giving me anxiety towards the end. Like I started like when I was like 13, smoked like every day pretty much for like 7 years, and then I stopped for like a month just to see if I could, because my family has addictive personalities. So I was like, I'm just gonna stop to see if I can. Started smoking again, started like freaking out, and then I kind of like weaned myself back into doing it. So I was smoking again, and then I had like a period where like my probation officer didn't want me smoking weed, so I didn't smoke weed. And then, which is obvious because Texas is against the law. But yeah, I just I was smoking weed probably like maybe like 8 months ago, kind of like here and there, but then I just realized it was kind of making me like if I smoked, I would just like lay there and like think about everything that I've done that made me like insecure or like embarrassed. Like I would think of shit, you know how when you do like a little action and you like go to sleep thinking about how, like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. That was so weird. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I would literally sit there and just think about shit like that for, like, an hour or something. And I was like, you know what? I don't like doing that. So, I was like, instead of just being insecure for an hour, I'm just not gonna smoke weed. So, I've been thinking about doing, like, CBD gummies. Mm-hmm. Or something like that, just to get, like, a little chill, like, vibe, you know? Because I do, like that. So, I mean, and not to say, like, weed didn't always make me feel like that, and it probably won't always, but just where I'm at right now, I guess, it's just not, like, it's just making me feel weird. So I just kind of stopped. So I was just feeling weird.
No, I get it. Like, that's why I stopped smoking sativas, like, because sativas are, like, the energetic, like,
maybe that's it, because I like sativa.
Yeah, I don't
so
like
maybe I should switch.
I started smoking indicas with, like, less THC count. Like, when we went to Colorado the first time in 2014, like, whenever they basically first legalized it, like, THC count was, like, the highest you find is, like, 20%. Now it's, like, 32, 33. Yeah. And I'm looking for, like, the 20% again, and then I'm always looking for indica. But what's cool is, like, they have, like, 1-to-1 gummies and 1-to-1 edibles and stuff, where it's, like, 1-to-1 ratio of THC, CBD.
Oh, that's cool.
And I got a fucking thing of those 1-to-1 gummies, and they were fucking amazing. Like, I fuck with CBD. Like, if I ever did stop smoking weed, like, I would definitely continue.
You'd be like, I need CBD. Yeah. Like, they sell the flower, you can smoke it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's dope. Good times.
Yeah, so I was something about weed. I don't know. I forget. Yeah.
Ironic.
I don't know. It was cool. Definitely. Oh yeah, I was about to say, because you said the percentage thing. I'm like, I remember back in the day, like smoking like Reggie and like paying like 20 a G plus $5 to have it delivered when I was like 13. So like over 10 years ago, like 13 years ago, like. It was like hard to get good weed for most people, and then when you did, it was like 20 a gram, and now people are doing like $30 eighths and shit. It's crazy. Yeah, Reggie, man, that's what my stepmom used to smoke.
Garbage brick Reggie, straight up. I used to get a half ounce of Reggie a week.
It's so weird because you get like a little buzz off it, but it just lasts like 30 minutes.
No, I remember I literally would smoke like 12 blunts a day, like just back to back, rolling.
Because you have to.
You have to. And then I started smoking like the hydro, and like it became more normal, and then all of a sudden I'm smoking like a bowl.
Yeah, being good.
And I'm like. Same thing when the first time I tried to dab, I was like, dude, I brought some to match, but I don't think it's gonna do anything.
Yeah, dabs. Oh my god! First time I did a dab, I think I was not
is
ready.
30 and 8. That's actually kind of true. I don't, though I don't really know weed prices anymore.
It depends on who you know.
Yeah, it depends on.
I can get an ounce of like really, really good weed for like $100, but that's probably because I've known them for like 8 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like he charges like regular people like probably like $150. You know.
Dabs are different. Dabs are different. Oh yeah, they normalized because I had to transition from Reggie. Yep, she was there. She was there with us.
Yeah, dabs are crazy. Dabs, like, I don't know, dude. I would like take a dab and have nothing to say for like 30 minutes. Like, people would try to talk to you and be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm just like trying to not have an existential crisis right now. Like, I just need to sit here.
To be okay. It's not going well for me, but I will be okay as soon as this subsides.
Yeah, just don't talk to me for like 20 minutes.
Dude, yeah, I remember like, because like when you first smoke weed, like things look different, and like you have that whole like you look, it's like. Like you can see flashes. I don't know if you ever got that, but that's like kind of what dabbing was from the first time. I was like, yeah, I can't be that high anymore. Like not since I was like 18.
It's not fun.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
It's not.
No.
But yeah. Since they're gonna come get high with us eventually, I don't know about today. Homie hookup. Everybody got that.
Yeah, let me know. We'll all have to hang out and play basketball together.
Hell yeah. We literally just went. Yeah, I was telling you just now. We went and played basketball on Tuesday.
We can all play horse and chill.
Yo.
And then when my boyfriend gets back into town next month, we can. Oh well, we're actually moving. But I'll still come over. I'll still come hang out.
Oh, it's gonna go down. All right, well, Rosae, I think we're gonna end this. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today and doing an interview.
Yes, it was great. Thanks for the chatting.
Yeah,
it was awesome to be here, and I'll be on again whenever I make some music.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Most definitely, yeah. Whenever she releases something, come right here first, and then you'll hear about it. We'll talk about it, we'll break it apart, learn.
And my merch, we'll talk about the merch that I'm gonna make eventually.
How to like set up on the side, affiliate links and shit. Let's get on it. Let's go, Sensei. Yeah, so I'll see y'all Sunday. We're gonna play some Back for Blood, probably finish some of that, and then next week, let's see, the Monday after next, I'll be on with someone that's kind of like important to me that I don't even know. He was like my brother's best friend. His name is Rosae K. I have a brother that lived in Seattle. He passed away when my twin brother and I were 14. And we didn't know until this year that our brother Joey had made music with this dude. And like it's gonna be a good one. So like pop in next Monday. I'll put in I'll put it on the post for the IG and stuff. But I'm pretty excited about that. He was also a visual artist too. He did clapping for her. I feel you. He did visual art too. He's a graffiti artist and everything too. So basically the podcast is gonna be like learning about my brother and like learning about like things I didn't get to know. Is like I knew him as like an older brother. We met him once, but like we didn't know him as like a person. You know what I mean? Like that he made music and
nice
like
and personal.
Yeah, exactly. So
that would be cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. Stay tuned for that. You'll see all the IG posts and updates. Y'all go follow Rosae everywhere. I'm gonna throw the thing.
Click the link.
There it goes right there. And on the YouTube version of this, I'll make sure that I put all those links in the description. So again, thanks Rosae for hanging out with me today.
Pleasure.
This has been B-nign Music Twitch page in between whatever I'm trying to call this thing. Peace.